Boom, 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 boom. Hello? Oh shit, I should have poured myself some water. Oh, typical. Typical. How can I always forget it? Hello and welcome to today's gaming stream where I am umineko, I guess. Yo, yo, yo. I thought of doing this. I thought of making myself like a PNG tuber in the Umineko art style. You know, Umineko art style from like very beginning of my playthrough, and only now I just kinda did it for fun. I was like, huh, why I still haven't done it? And ta-da! Now we're here! It's one-time deal! So it's only for today. I don't know. I wanted to try being a PNG and moving PNG. For just a little. And we also on the OG version of Umineko. You know, the one that's on Steam. Yep. And that's all. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. Aren't they cute? Aren't they looking cute? I didn't actually nail the art style, but you know, it's close enough. It's close enough. Let me pour myself some water, and I'm kind of nervous about doing something new on stream every time. So let me pour myself some water, and we're gonna play the game. Oh, and also I checked, and the text in the version that we played before and text in this version is absolutely 100% similar, so it's not gonna destroy the experience. Like, if the translators were different people, I feel like it would be a little bit harder to go around. But because they're literally the same text, I feel like it's fine. Okay. A second, pour in the water. Okay, funny part is that the program still picks up my voice even though I'm muted on OBS, which is funny. Serpent my water? Sorry. I had something else to say. What was it? Oh, I'm early. That's it. That's it. I'm early. Well, what else am I to say? Oh, plan for today is to finish this episode. Hopefully. That's it. Why am I like this? Why am I so awkward all of a sudden? That's unfair. Oh, you know what? I slept on the floor this night and my back's still fucking sore as hell. It's not getting better. Maybe I need to sleep on the floor for like a couple of weeks for it to be like good. But so far, it's only kind of tiring. Yep, I know. Let's just read Umineko, whatever. Oh, and a lot of time was spent, 20 minutes kinda over time is because a lot of time was spent to just trying to skip to this part in the story, which for some reason takes a lot of time. Oh no, when I'm shaking my head you can see it now. Oh well. What are we losing for art, unfortunately? Yeah, let's just go. What is unsatisfactory about the court's ruling? Do you possess any new evidence of truth sufficient to request a retrial? I get it. Lenore is offering me a helpful hand. If she hadn't jumped in here, it'd be all over. And now I fully understand how I'm supposed to fight. But because I understand now, I am unable to fight right now. After all, I can win by simply countering Erika's truth. If I want to deny her truth, I need a present. I need to present a different one. I literally read this part yesterday, and I still don't have a clue what the truth is. There is nothing is not healed with time, and there is no truth that cannot be reached if you spend enough time searching. However, all trials have limited time in which the truth must be decided. Therefore, a truth cannot be reached within that limited time cannot become truth. Yeah, I know that! By now, everyone is certain that Natsuki is the culprit. It might be too late now, even for real truth. It's never too late for real truth, Butler. Anti-Eva violence will probably go unstopped, and no one is even thinking about protecting Natsuki. It's no longer a situation where you can say, oh, the truth will eventually be found. And in this world, the time remaining to expose the truth is very short. It's already 24 hours, 2400, and the game ends. The police won't come. The truth won't be revealed. Only the truth decided upon here and now will remain. Come on, Butler! No! I slowly stood up, walked in front of Beata, and faced Lenore. I have no plan. I know the truth! I have no plan. However, if I don't jump in now, I won't get another chance to fight. The thread used by Erika's group is mercilessly strict. I seriously doubt that I can put together a truce where Natsuki isn't the culprit without violating that thread. Why is that centered face? How pathetic. Damn it. Oh, she's all red! By the way, look at this art style. I actually love it. I love the OG art style. It's great. Oh, they never show... I'm gonna show you fucking Federica. And Federica looks like she came right from fucking Hot Topic. Why is she like this? She looks like one of those characters that on stuff from Hot Topic, like Jack Skellington and... I don't know, I'm actually never was into this scene, she said. She looks so edgy. I don't know why isn't there a lot of merch with this version of Federica. Like, she is the goat of certain subculture, that's for sure. But Butler, I'll be the one to kill you. I want to keep this promise. And yet, right now, I don't have any plan at all. I love how he keeps saying this. That's okay. In this world, there is no truth. The truth is made later on and overrides what comes before it. Real truth doesn't exist anywhere. Does it? What about does it? Oh! Here she goes! Look at her! Why she isn't the mascot of like every edgy shit in the world? Like, look at her. She's so... gothic. She's so edgy. Also, she has like one of my favorite, maybe, designs ever. Like, she's so good. And her purple eyes look really good on contrast with everything else. Just wow. Now, this is a splendid scenario, Lenore. It just wouldn't be interesting unless a knight appeared before the prince's execution. And there is nothing better than watching heads roll before your very eyes. Look at this expression! Damn! Look at her! They did her dirty in a remake. Jesus, look at her! She looks awesome! I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Erase the old piece and the unneeded players all in one go. It's so early for it. As you wish. Glory to the great Lady Bercastel. This food is good too. I feel like remake makes this expression justice though. I love your mouse form. Like, look at it. Damn. Great art. Glory to the great Lady Bercastel. I am the head inquisitor of heresy, Lenore Inox. Step forward, Ushinomiya Butler. Damn it, I've got nothing more to lose. If you wanna see me struggle, I'll show you. The only reason Erika's theory is so strong because of those seals. She was given red so quickly just because Lambda Delta easily brought the alibis created by those seals. But the seals aren't red truths. Just sticking Piper in the doll crack is far from perfect. I mean, that's true. There's no way something like that can prove anything with certainty. Begin, Butler! Ready to let those goats turn you into a pile of meat along with your beloved Beatrice? I don't like... Forgot your name. I don't like Lambda's design at all here. I mean, design is okay. It's not the best design. I don't like the way she drawn here. It looks she looks kinda young. Ready to let those goats turn you into a pile of meat along with your beloved Beatrice? Oh, and I'll mix leftover from you, precious sister, into a pile. Jesus, you still have it? Wouldn't that make for a wonderful stock of meat? When we can wrap it up in a dumpling, steam it, and maybe add some soy sauce. Actually sounds delicious. No, best way, that would be to fry them in the pan with some eggs and ketchup. Is this too loud? Is game too loud? It's kinda loud for me. Yuck. My notification came that I'm streaming. Can it be on one? Why is it only true? Oh. Is it too quiet now? Why on 2 is too loud? Kill me. 1, 4, 1, 0, 2. Yep. Maybe we can change it in the game? Probably not. It doesn't have anything here. Annoying. Look at this. Damn. Low quality PNGs, I respect it. To Japan, to new. Oh, we can see it in a Steam art style, which sucks. Like, look at this. What a garbage. No offense to the artist, this probably have some artistic merit. Why can't it look like this? I hate it. Why is Frodo Erika looks like this? Jesus! She's so anime. Nah. Yeah, not a fan. Yeah, this is so much better! So much better, so much more fun. Too Japanese. Holy hell. Ushiromiya ke. Ke? No. Nah, I can't read it. They're laughing. Hello. Damn it! Can we doubt the reliability of the seals of Erika's? Something like wedging some paper in the door can create a perfect alibi. It might be that someone noticed by chance and happened to put it back in the same place. That's true, that's true. The blade of my blue truth should have slashed diagonally through Lenore's chest. However, Lenore's expression didn't budge in slightest, and there wasn't a single wound on her chest. Is this a new model? No, it's just one-time deal. It's a PNG tuber. Just for the stream. Just for fun. To spice things up. I was wondering what you thrown out here, but this is ridiculous. Allow me to explain. This is what I sealed the door with. Did you think it was paper, Butler-san? Erika once again held up the thing that looked like brown paper. This is packing tape. And its adhesive power is extremely strong. I used scissors to make it easier to tear. Furthermore, I wrote my signature, which cannot be reproduced, in 3 places. Jesus, why would you do this? Across the tear point, across the edge between the door and the tape, and across the edge between the tape and the door frame. Therefore, it's impossible to tear it off without leaving a mark, and it's impossible to reattach too. Permission to unsheath the red key. Granted. Ooh, she has a sword. Due to the above, the seals are guaranteed to be perfect. Miss Erica's seals were not broken by anyone, and deception is impossible. I'll acknowledge Erica's seals. However, Aunt Eva's seal in Genji-sam's room should be different. Should it? Eva's seal is one of the same type as Miss Erica's. Yo, we saw this one, right? That is because the method of sealing was one that Miss Erica and Eva conceived of together after dinner. What the hell? Erica said something about scientific investigation and finished through the chemicals of grandfather's room, right? There might have been some kind of solvent in here. If you use that, you might be able to tear off the packing tape without leaving fingernail marks. So elaborate, Jesus Christ. Please, allow me to speak. It's impossible to tear off any of the seals by any method without leaving marks. Really? You sure about this? Please, allow me to speak. There was no suspicious mark on any of the seals. Therefore, it has been proven that nothing was done to any of the seals. Repeat it. Yes, gladly. All of the Erica's and Eva seals were not tampered with in any way that hindered their ability to act as seals, such as being scraped off. Damn it. Damn you, using packing tapes that leaves marks all over the place. So true, Butler, so true. Lenore isn't my only enemy. There are also her subordinates, Gertrude and Cornelia, and also Erica and her master Castell, and even Mopa Delta, the one who hijacked Beata's game. Everyone in this cathedral is an enemy. Oh, the misery. That's annoying, not to be able to move my head, you know? Just stuck in one position. Just blinking from time to time, Jesus. That fierce rush of red immediately repelled by feeble truth. It's obvious why. Can't you use the truth that... what's your name? That Virgilia gave you? Just use it and, you know, go from here. I don't have any alternative truth. If you do though, you do! Even at this final stage, I have... You do have something! Remember how you meet grandfather? Nobody asks questions, nobody remembers anything in this game. Were the seals all that you had to discuss? You promised to give it everything you got. Yeah, tell him! I only knew a truth that could prove Aunt Natsuhi's innocence. If only I knew a truth that could prove Aunt Natsuhi's innocence. If I could only make a theory that waves its way through Erica's red. Damn it, I don't know anything. Do you have any chance of winning? I left it at home! Oh no, might I go back and get it? I have already lost. I am prepared for my fate. I promise that I killed you, so I won't let anyone else do it. I'll definitely keep this promise. Liar. I'll never trust your promises again. No! Huh? When did I ever make a promise to you and what? That was a lie? I mean, 6 years ago or something? After hearing you say that, hell might not be so bad. Kill us, per Castel, Lambda Delta. Beata let out a shrill cry, overcome with laughter. It was a broken laugh, and tears streamed down her cheeks. Butler's words no longer reached her ears. She kept on laughing insanely, like a broken record. I have a hard time reading this front for some reason. Is it over? Beautiful. I truly am disappointed, Ushirimiya Butler. Poor girl. Kill me, Lenore. Slice me in half with the red longsword of yours. Everybody's yelling. What is he cooking? Let's assume that exists a method X that can lead someone to the second floor of a guest house without passing through the lounge. Erika claims that the windows and such were sealed, but she can prove that she sealed all possible means of entry. There's a possibility that Erika was unable to seal entrance X because she couldn't find it. Ooh, that's a good one. Noxeret. It's forbidden for hidden passages to exist. As a detective, Miss Erika sealed all entrances. Passages that the detective cannot find are all hidden passages. Therefore, you are no entrances that Miss Erika cannot find. I present the possibility that Erika's lookout in the lounge wasn't perfect. During the 2 hours Erika spent here, she really observed everything without looking away for a second. It might be possible for someone to have passed through the lounge there in the small gap without at least Erika seeing them. Maybe her weakness gonna be that she's a human being? Maybe she could not just stay up all night. Maybe she could not just go through all of this that she said she went through, right? She's just a human girl. How much can she actually do? Are you gonna question this? Please, allow me to speak. Lady Erika's lookout in the lounge is perfect. There were no small gaps or carelessness of a time when she looked away for even a second. Was she? Please, allow me to speak. Therefore, during their entire meeting in the lounge, only Rosa went up to the second floor. What's the point of saying, please allow me to speak, and then just speaking when nobody, answers you? So mean. But was it really Aunt Rosa herself? There's a possibility that someone disguised themselves as Aunt Rosa. Or maybe she was actually holding a large suitcase with someone hiding inside it. Nox stands. It's forbidden for a character to disguise himself as another without any clues. There have to be no hints suggesting that someone had disguised themselves as Rosa. What? Nox stands. It's forbidden for a character to disguise himself as another without any clues. You know what we should do? Nox mystery commandments. Oh, they really call commandments. No fucking way they call commandments. Really? Really? Oh, hold on. Just a second. I need to do something super quick. Sorry, I'm here. What an annoying website design. Jesus Christ. Okay. Knox was also a Catholic priest. Okay, let's explain this. Ronald Knox was a mystery writer in the early part of the 20th century who belonged to the detective club as society... Peopled? Is this a word? Really? Peopled by such legendary mystery writers as Agatha Christie, Dorothy Sayers, Chesterton. Yay, Chesterton! That's my other... And E.S. Bentley. Among these novels, blah 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 blah. Sorry. Knox is also a Catholic priest, which is perhaps why he was tempered to write 10 commandments of detective fiction. If you write such stories, thou shalt obey those laws. First, the criminal must be someone mentioned in early part of the story, but must not be anyone whose thoughts the reader has been allowed to follow. Huh. Okay. A supernatural or preternatural agency are ruled out as a matter of course. Not more than one secret room or passage is allowable. What does it mean? No hitherto undiscovered poisons may be used, nor any plants which will need a long scientific explanation at the end. Okay. No Chinaman must figure in a story, excuse me? Chinaman is a term referring to a Chinese man or person. What? What does it mean? Excuse me? No Chinaman must figure in the story. What? Aren't they all Asians? I'm sorry. No accident must ever help the detective, nor must he ever have an accountable intuition which proves to be right. Ooh. Okay. The detective must not himself commit the crime. Sure. The detective must not light on any clues which are not instantly produced for inspection of the reader. Oh, hello! Federico Cozzoli did this! Excuse me? The stupid friend of the detective, the Watson, must not conceal any thoughts which pass through his mind. His intelligence must be slightly, but very slightly, below that of average reader. What the fuck? Okay, this is offensive. This is stupid. Twin brothers and doubles generally must not appear unless we have duly prepared for them. Okay. In truth, the most of these rules have become outdated in current mystery fiction. Excuse me, what this... Should I go to Wikipedia? Are they gonna explain it to me in Wikipedia? Gold Age of detective fiction. Cringe. Everything that has like a gold age in its name is gonna be awful. No Chinaman must figure the story. Note 1. No Chinaman rule was a reaction to and criticism of, okay, racial cliches prevalent in 1920s English writing. Knox explained, I see no reason in nature of bringing white Chinaman should spoil a detective story. But as a matter of fact, if you are turning over the pages of unknown romance in a bookstore and come across some mention of the narrow and come to some racist shit in the story, avoid the story, it is bad. Well, I mean, he's right, but it's still weird as fuck. Okay, this sucks, but okay. Okay. Now I get it. Now I get what they're talking about. No sense, it is forbidden for a character to disguise themselves as another without any clues. There has been no hint suggesting that someone has disguised themselves as Rosa. Furthermore, Erika has confirmed that she wasn't carrying any luggage large enough to hide a human in. Anata has been threatened by someone. The uninvited, unknown guest X is a culprit. How can you be sure we are the only ones on the island? The true culprit is someone else. I mean, they say it multiple times in red. Knox first. It is forbidden for the culprit to be anyone not mentioned in the early part of a story. Oh, that's true. We just read it. It's true. Maybe they were killed with poison in a remote murder. Ooh, that's another Knox. Oh. The strange drug that can make a cut appear in someone's neck when they die. That type of murder was delayed effect, so even with an alibi. Yup, Nox Force or something. Nox Force! Yay! It's forbidden for unknown drugs or hard to understand scientific devices to be used. There is a chance that there exited a murder device X in the cousin's room and Genshin waiting room that made the remote murder possible. It has some secret mechanism that still wasn't able to be discovered, and Nox 8. It's forbidden for the case to be resolved with clues that are not presented. Yeah, but anyway, there exists a culprit other than Aunt Natsuhi. If you want to deny that, try and repeat it in red. None of the appearing characters were the culprit. Oh, they're not gonna do it. Nox 6. It's forbidden for accident or intuition to be employed as a detective technique. You say that everyone except Aunt Natsuhi has an alibi? You're forgetting one person. Furudo Erika. She gonna say, what about Erika? Who's gonna prove that Erika herself has an alibi? Nox 7. It's forbidden for the detective to be the culprit. Are they gonna be going through racist stereotypes if they're going through all of this shit? 1, 4, 8, 6, 7. Oh, the third one. No more than one secret room passage is allowable. Oh, they did the third one, for sure. No poisons. No accident. The sidekick. Okay. Unless she's caught red-handed, you should never be able to deny the possibility that Aunt Natsuhi is innocent. Can you even deny future possibilities, like a piece of evidence act that Erika hasn't discovered proves Natsuhi's innocence? Or you can't solve the mystery without already presented evidence or something, right? Nox 8. It's forbidden for the case to be resolved with clues that are not presented. Yep. This tale is filled with malicious lies. The tale itself has become a trap to capture Natsuhi. The tale should be constructed only from impartial truth. Nox 9. It's permitted for observers to let their own conclusion and explanation be heard. It's not what Nox 9 actually says, but okay, I trust you. I allow you to interpret it as you want. Look at Butler. Damn. She's melting. I respect this. But they're kinda cute in this art style. I was a culprit, so maybe I gave George Anki and the others show-oxing poison to make them die after 24 hours, then silently slit their throats when I returned at 3 AM. I could have done it so quietly that Erika wouldn't hear. Nox 8. It's forbidden for the case to be resolved with clues that are not presented. Everyone committed suicide, so there is no culprit. No. No. Please, allow me to speak. All victim deaths were homicides. Erika didn't personally examine the corpses, right? It should be possible for people who aren't a detective to make a mistake when examining corpses. Please, allow me to speak. Nox know that no examination of the corpses would have been mistaken. Maybe there were the body double corpses. They prepared corpses beforehand that closely resembled the victims. Know that no corpses exist except for of characters who have appeared in the story. Then how can you claim that Uncle Kraus is dead without a corpse? Doesn't that violate Nox something or whatever? Know that the red truth is simply truth, and there is no need to provide evidence or proof. Just say the red truth that Virgilia gave you. Just do it. Come on. Ah. That is so annoying. That is so annoying. What the? Damn it. In the face of these insane arguments, any attempt to overrun the truth where Aunt Natsuhi is treated as a culprit are completely meaningless. Just do something, Butler. You're not using all you have. End of Umineko. No. Look at this background. Some ancient photobash. Jesus. Each time I brandished my desperate blue truth, Lenore and the others' red truths knocked me down to the floor. It was getting hard to even stand back up again. Does it mean my body is telling me that I'm about to surrender? Does the truth where Natsuki is the culprit? But... just... The red truth is getting more and more perfect. Each time I think I can slip through a clink in their armor, Lenore smacks me down with the red longsword of Nox. Oh, she's going crazy. Poor girl. Beato. That's enough, Butler. Now, the endless torture that hurts me, no, us, will finally end. Let us fall together into its depth. I don't want to see Beato like this. Her Majesty as a ruler of a Golden Land, her enthusiasm as my rival, are completely gone. She's just a beautiful woman who's been trampled over and lost all hope, with tears streaming down her face and a tragic smile that can be bear to look at. Does your truth no longer exist? No. I have one last thing. And that is different truth, where Natsuki isn't the culprit? That's not it. All I can do is prove that the Natsuki isn't the culprit. After all, after that, I can't show what the real truth is at all. But even so, maybe at least you'll be saved that way. Why? I can't show without doubt that Natsuki isn't the culprit. However, I cannot show a different truth. If Erika truth is dispersed, the crime will return to darkness and there might still be room for you to exist. Yeah, if you can do it. But if you can't show a new truth, that means you're incompetent and useless as a player. I have you vanished from this game board for all eternity. At this point, the Game Master is Lambda Delta, and she is here too. This probably doesn't mean losing a single game, but being banished from this game for all eternity for losing. From what the witches have said in the past, I can firmly imagine that the place pieces are sent when they're banished. It's known as the depth of oblivion, an eternal darkness that lies on the far side of eternal oblivion and where there is no concept of life and death. I'm going to disappear, aren't I? However, Beato will remain. As long as Beato remains, no matter how suspicious Natsuki is, there will always remain space for the witch to be a culprit. In other words, room for Natsuki not to be the culprit. As long as this space exists, someone will eventually expose the truth. It doesn't have to be me. Anyway, eventually someone will smash his fake truth to the pieces. I understood that the time had come to abandon myself. Isn't fake truth just a lie? I understood that the time had come to abandon myself for the sake of this other person who would eventually appear, for the sake of a real truth. Tease of another detective? On the other side? Well... it looked like I have to break my promise to kill you after all. Don't leave me as the only one alive. I'll disappear with you. Let that be your final tribute to me. I beg you, if you just do one thing, I don't need anything else. Have you used up everything you have? I really am disappointed in you, Shiremiya Butler. Quickly, perform his requiem! That's way, I'll have an open field in which to expose Natsuki-san's sin! These guys really are interesting. Beatrice, Shiremiya Butler. But I've gotten tired of this. You aren't needed in our game. Do it, Lenore. This is the end. If you still have one last bit of power, let me see you master it now, in your last moments. It's small. Oh! Familiar sound! It's small, but it's sparkling red truth. The last trump card Virgilia gave me. Oh! Now you're gonna use it? You just gonna say it now? Why can't you start? Why couldn't you start with this? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. Erica, this takes your theory back to square one. If you can, why not go ahead? Take this. You bitch! Why didn't you say it from the beginning? Like, what's the point of all of this? Oh. Ushiramiya Natsuhi is not the culprit. The red truth, it's simply truth with no evidence or proof needed. Why wouldn't you say it the first time? This will make Lenore stagger. Even if that's all it does, it's the first and the last strike I can make. Oh no! Knock second. What? Fuck you! You, moron! Excuse you? Oh, so... You piece of shit! Knock second, it's forbidden for supernatural agencies to be employed as detective me. What is this? I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. This is... What? Oh, so we're just accepting that Kraus is dead in the beginning of all of this shit. Bitch, it doesn't contradict anything in your mind? Like, what are you doing? Also, some of the truths are simply truths, but some of the truths are fucking goes under knocks. You moron. You loser. You fucking dumbass. Huh? My red truth was blown away by Lenore's longsword. I would fucking strangle her. But it was me. I'm sorry. I would be so mad. What is this? Like it was said by which? It was said by which first? You try to say it. You try to fucking say it, and you wouldn't be able to. Because you confirmed that if you're trying to lie in red, you can't. Try to speak it. Try to say it. You loser. In this card, if anyone other than the witches is going to speak the red truth, they'll have to construct an appropriate proof for it. Erica has been following this procedure, right? You fucking loser. Oh, Beata! Beata, say it! Beata! Say it! True, Erica hadn't used the red herself even once so far. She always had Becastel, a witch, repeat your statement. In escort, ooh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Your red truth isn't something you obtain for yourself. It's supernatural truth given by a phenomenon. You dumb fuck. I fucking hate you. It's supernatural truth given by a paranormal being. In other words, isn't reasoning. It's no better than a random thought. Bitch! It's in red! Kegro cord, Kegro cord, Kegro cord! What is this? In this case, if I have Virgilia say the same red truth, where is Virgilia? Oh, she's dead! If you present the red truth, you must construct an appropriate argument. Why couldn't we start with this? Because now we're gonna go through the same fucking bullshit all over again. Like, this is so frustrating. Can you do that? No, it's impossible. I just have the truth that Aunt Natsuhi isn't the culprit, without any basis or evidence. Beato! Beato, say it! Beato, say it! Beato, you're a witch! Say it! See? Real truth is a very fragile thing. Does real truth exist? And is it necessary? Even without it, the tale will continue on. Butler. Come on, Butler. Prove the red that you have shown. If you cannot, this is goodbye. Then Goodbye. No. Sorry, Beata. Butler, remember when you saw the grandfather? Don't say that. Thanks for sticking around with me. It was such a bloodstained tale, and it was fun. What? What's... The trial is now finished. Finished. Die the death. I hate you guys. I hate all of you. With that, the trial for Rufev's game ended. The detective Furudo Erika accused the culprit Ushiramiya Natsuhi. There are 3 riddles the detective must explain. The first, who done it? Who is the culprit? As previously stated, it is Ushiramiya Natsuhi. The second is, how done it? How did they carry out this crime? During the hour between 2400 and on October 4th, 1986 and 100 next day, Ushiramiya Natsuhi went to the cousin's room in the 2nd floor of the guest house and the servant waiting room on the 1st floor of the mansion. There she carried out the murders. It is only possible for the crime to have taken place during this hour, and for that 1 hour, alibis have been proven for all characters except Natsuhi. From the sky, a massive red longsword, even greater in size than the one Lenore held, came crashing down like a thunderbolt, piercing Slowbiter's heart and pinning him in place while he still stood. In this instant, Beatrice became the golden splash and faded away, and her former minions disappeared as well. Beato is dead, as the heartless witches looked down at the cathedral center, laughing coldly. All that remained was Butler, with a red longsword sticking through him and Lenore. Rest in peace, Ushiramiya Butler. What a shame. I thought you were a more capable person than this. Butler blew bubbles of blood. Butler blew bubbles of blood. Butler blew bubbles of blood. Closed his eyes slowly. And died! Lenore stared on in silence, then turned in her heels when she saw his life leave him. After that, all that remained was the corpse of the sorrowful man, pierced by a sword that acted as a massive red grave marker, and lit by the faint glow let in from the cathedral skylight. And then, there is a third riddle the detective must uncover. The final riddle. Why done it? Why did they commit the crime? The motive? In third-rate mysteries, there is no need to uncover this. After all, even if you don't expose the motive, the culprit will just confess it when all's said and done. However, Furudo Erika was first-rate, so she would expose even this. Natsuki was being confined in a parlor under everyone's watchful gazes. Then, Erika made use of everyone's to diligently and persistently search all places, even Natsuki's room, for clues about her motive. Well, now we have all gathered just what it is that drove Shiramiya Natsuki-san to commit these terrible murders. Now, through my investigation, I, the detective Furudo Erika, have discovered the general outline that explained this. I would like to announce it now. Everyone remained silent, urging her to continue. Erika tossed some of Natsuki's possession that had been confiscated onto the table. First, these are past diaries that were discovered in Natsuki-san's room. They have barely been used at all in recent years, but they describe in detail the period shortly after she became a part of the Uchiramiya family. This is so unsatisfying. Most of them were locked, but in order to find the full truth behind the crime, I used my authority, which everyone has acknowledged, to destroy the locks on all of them. How barbaric! Reading another person's diary. If we're barbaric, what does it make you a murderer? A criminal like you has no right to privacy. And this is what I found from those diaries. Natsuki-san ended up married Krau's-san due to special circumstances. I imagine that all of you here know much more about this than I do. Natsuki-san and Krau's-san were not married because of love as a normal arranged marriage. Excuse me? What? Natsuki-san and Krau's-san were not married because of love or as a normal— oh, it says or, as a normal arranged marriage. What is what? If anything, it's more like taking a hostage. Really? That's not true. This is written on the 24th page of this red diary. I am a hostage being imprisoned by the Uchiramiya family under the cruise of marriage. However, if everything can be resolved this way... Natsuki-san, right here, you already acknowledged that you were a hostage. Kumasawa-san, you have served Natsuki-san since the time she first came here, right? Could you tell me about what it was like at this time? Yeah, that's correct. I did catch a wind of something similar of what you describe. I think that by now, only Dr. Nanja and I know the details regarding Madam's marriage. Very true. That was during Kinzo-san Golden Era. Stop saying Golden Era! And he did whatever he pleased. He defeated all of his enemies and expanded his financial power. Natsuki-san's family was one of those enemies. As though the time to talk has suddenly come at hand, Kumasawa and Nanja openly delved into territory that should never been touched upon again. Well, at least it gives us some backstory, isn't it nice? This was concerning the period during which Kinzo was most feared for his ferocity. It has been said, though Kinzo had many assets and connections, he held a grudge after being looked down upon by members in the elite as being an upstart. Because of this, apparently, Kinzo wanted to find Krau's wife from a noble family and used this to raise the Uchiramiya family status. Then he overcame Natsuki's family as a financial struggle and proposed that the marriage be performed as a method of reconciliation. And the person he picked was Natsuki. Natsuki had been raised to be clean and pure in a family of Shinto priests. What? Squeaky chair? Making her a true noble lady. By choosing her, not only did Kinzo cause them the worst possible humiliation, he also won what he considered to be a nice trophy. So that marriage proposal was humiliating to Natsuki from the very beginning. Regarding the aforementioned facts, both Kumasawa's and Dr. Nanji's claims are just now match the content of the diaries. Therefore, since the time Natsuki-san first took the name Uchiramiya Natsuki, she was held strong resentment against the Uchiramiya family. What do you have to say, Natsuki-san? Do you acknowledge this? All of the cold gazes turned to face Natsuki. Yes, that's true that I thought this at first. I thought I was being forced into marriage without love, a hostage under the guise of a bride. However, my husband never viewed me as a mere hostage. He understood what I have gone through and gave me compassion and affection. My husband was the only person who could understand me. I see. That makes sense. And there are many senses in your diaries showing that Krau's-san knew of your difficulties and showed kindness. However, on the page 47 of this diary, he described these moments of being unpleasant, correct? Let me read aloud. When Kraus tries to show kindness, it only makes me feel more wretched. Sometimes I think he might even be trying to humiliate me further. Therefore, we can tell that Natsuki-san repaired your husband's kindness with contempt. Wait! Yes, I may have thought that at the beginning. Back then, I was still overwhelmed with unease. I couldn't accept his kindness and wrote off my disgust from time to time. But I eventually realized that he was sincere and grew to accept these feelings. Well, nothing like that appears in any of those diaries. I never even wrote it down. Those feelings were so secret. Is this... what? What does it teach us, kids? That we should write all our feelings in our diaries? Oh, it teaches us not to ever write a diary. Obviously. Yeah, sure. Judging by many diverse bits of evidence and testimony, it's clear that you despised your husband. Well, she didn't though. And there exists no evidence that you eventually accepted his feelings, as you claim. I love my husband! You can't find any testimony or evidence that can be used to elevate the statement to the level of red truth, right? Does anyone need evidence to say they're in love? I mean, they're fucked, so... I'm sorry. You can't trust anything beside the red truth. Statements that aren't read don't count as evidence at all, and they can't be trusted at all. All non-read letters are falsehoods that exist to deceive me. I love you? Who would believe that when spoken with a white text? Oh, her mom really doesn't like her. No non-read words can even be trusted. All I can trust in this world are red truths and the pieces of evidence I offered to my master to gain it. You lying human who can't speak the truth. Humans lacking the red truth have no right to speak of love or the heart of truth. Did you know? Men aren't as stupid as you women think they are. Ooh. Men never really take it seriously when a woman says, I love you. Huh? How do you know it? What a beautiful person. I see that you never truly loved someone. Yep. Romance is unnecessary for a detective. I don't think I've ever used the word romance except to explain the motive for murder. Can we have, like... the Phantom Thief to Frodo detective? No matter what you say, we loved each other. I should be apologizing to my husband for always writing down my complaints and nothing else. But I have devoted my heart to him. Even if we can prove it, it is the truth. Rejected. You just don't know where to give up, do you? By now, due to the evidence and testimony, it's clear you hated both your husband and the Mishiramiya family. That's right. I can't even count the numbers of times I've heard you complain. Fuck. Hold on. A break. Hello. I'm back. Sorry about this. Sorry. It's fine. Everything's fine. I guess. I got a little scared, I'm sorry. Oh, and you never talked about behind Hideyoshi-san's back? Damn it, you killed my husband! How dare you say that? Oh, it was Natsuki. Die and apologize to my husband. Please cease your violence, Iwa-san. This is now the precious moment where I question and convict the culprit. It's not yours, okay? Well then. Over the next several years, she appeared to have gotten used to her new way of life, but actuality and intense hatred still lurked in her heart. Taking that into consideration, there would be nothing odd at all about her deciding to take revenge. Don't act like you know what I'm thinking. Each time Erika read Natsuki's diaries one after another, she exposed more of Natsuki's emotion during those painful days. Natsuki hadn't written them to leave those words behind. She had written them to forget those memories and seal them away. That's why she had written down her feelings during those painful days, locked them up, and sealed them away for all eternity. However, Erika claimed that these were Natsuki's true hidden feelings that had been locked away and concealed. Since it had already been consulted that Natsuki was a murderer, everyone accepted Erika's calm. By this point, the red truth wasn't even necessary to establish Natsuki's motive. As long as the reasons seemed plausible, everyone would believe it. No matter how much Natsuki might object, no one would believe her. No one could accept the truth Natsuki spoke of about the day she had spent loving her husband. Oops. Sorry. Yay! I can Skip with the spacebar. Yuppie. Okay. That has been painted over by a false truth in which she hated her husband and showed revenge against him. The pen of the gods that composes the truth has been given to Erika. And so what? Who give a damn about your past? Murderer! Murderer! Stop that. I can't understand how Natsuki's son felt. I always thought that they would come eventually. Poor thing, poor thing. I think she's just one of those pitiful victims of father's run life. I knew of pain in Madam's heart. I always tried to support her, but I failed, and look what had happened. I don't even understand. Why the fuck are you talking then? I don't even understand the emotions of love and hate. Shut up then! You will, someday. It can become a reason to live, and also a reason to kill. Why are you doing this right now? Why did you say it? So cringe. Is Aunt Natsuhi really the culprit? Well, now that you mention it, there's just one person beside Natsuhi-san that might be a culprit. It's you. What? Hey, are you serious? Why didn't you say something that important sooner? Oh, it's your husband. Sorry. Natsuhi-san, the truth is, there is one person beside you for whom the crime was possible. If you truly claim that you aren't the culprit, it means that person must be the culprit. Huh? Who is it? Who? Ushiramiya Kinza-san. Oh. Early this morning, Kinza-san went outside through the window of the third-floor study. Wait. What? Oh, she said Kinza, she didn't say Kraus. Early this morning, Kinza-san went outside the window on the third-floor study, and his location is unknown. Isn't that right, Butler-san? Just like Natsuhi-san, Kinza-san has no alibi whatsoever. The truth is, for this crime, it was impossible for Kinza-san to be culprit as well. I just assumed that he never existed in the first place, so I totally forgot about him until just now. Allow me to apologize. She didn't look shy or apologetic in the slightest. Erika bowed in an unpleasant manner as ever. She had held a grudge ever since her defeat in the study battle. Natsuhi-san, you gained Kinza-san's trust and are the person who served close to him, right? So shouldn't you know better than anyone else? This incident is actually the crime of the family head carried out by Shiramiya Kinza-san. You dare call father a criminal? Don't worry. I have prepared more than enough evidence and testimony to explain why done it if Kinza-san was actually the culprit. If you say, for example, that you have put yourself on the line to cover Kinza's crimes, I am more than capable of supporting you. Ever since the late period of the author, Ellery Queen, even the theory created by the detective can sometimes change the point itself. You really can afford to be careless in this day and age. I won't let you treat father like a culprit. Natsuhi-san, calm down. Place your hand on your chest and think carefully. If you accuse Kinzo-san of being the culprit, this entire case will be resolved. You will no longer be held accountable for another person's action and your honor will be restored. In other words, by pushing the crime onto Kinzo, Natsuhi would be said, excuse me? It's not Natsuhi's decision in the first place? Why are you even giving it to her? Why are you making this like moral trial for her? She didn't deserve any of this. However, I have been entrusted with the honor of the Ushiramiya family by father. Did you really think that I would defile father's honor, the Ushiramiya family honor, just to clear away the false accusation made against me? Of course Natsuki knew that she wasn't the culprit, and she also knew that Kinzo wasn't. So being framed herself and pushing the blame onto Kinzo were both unacceptable, unbearable outcomes. Are you sure? I have already established quite thoughtfully. Hold on, I need to cough. Alibis have been proven for everyone except you. If you will not accuse Kinzo-san, then this time it really will be clean that you are the culprit. And what will become the truth, right? If you intend to label me as a culprit and call that your own personal truth, then do whatever you like. I am sure that God knows of my innocence. Eventually he will prove it. If it came to a choice between her and Kinzo being framed, Natsuki would sacrifice herself. Perhaps that way this was her way of protecting the Ushiramiya family honor. Aunt Natsuki. And I even gave you a chance! Stupid woman. The future where your name will eventually be cleared doesn't exist for any of you, not for any of the pieces on this board. Natsuki had made her decision. If they were going to call her the culprit, she would let them. She boldly rejected her thoughts of sealing Kinzo's honor to gain a momentarily truth where she wasn't the culprit. And therefore, the tale was woven with her as a culprit. In the future, if the accusation against her proven false, this tale will probably be rewritten. However, the future will never come. It makes me think it will eventually. I think. Truth is a fleeting thing. Who's saying this? Even if I am a good person until my death. If some heartless person after my death overrides the record and says I wasn't a good person. And if that is shared with anyone else, then even all the goodness in which I lived my life could be overwritten easily. I have really bad joke to say. I have really bad joke. I'm not going to. And so I think that I won't live as a good person for all eternity. Nah, who cares? You're gonna be dead. Like, why you give a shit about if some alive motherfucker thinks of you? It's kinda dumb. If you claim that Kinzo-san was not the culprit, he will need an alibi proving that the crime was impossible for him. Otherwise, we cannot truly be certain that you are the culprit, Natsuki-san. Erika is probably known for a long time. Kinzo is nothing more than an illusion to make the inheritance problem more uncertain. Is Butler gonna tell them that he fucking saw him? However, it would be very hard to prove that he was an illusion. The only way to do this would be to confirm Kinzo's death. But as has been made known by the Red Truth in previous game, Kinzo died a long time ago. And in the 5th game, his corpse hasn't been appeared. In a situation like this, it would be easy to absolutely prove his death. If Kinzo's death was confirmed, it would practically erase the defeat in the study. It was the only way Erika had of removing humiliation of the souls. Erika, shut up. And there was something that could confirm Kinzo's death almost as certainly as real proof. Yeah, this was the confession of the culprit. It would mean having Natsuki herself acknowledge that Kinzo no longer existed in this world. This way, it would be acknowledged that Erika's reasoning in the study was correct, that loss would be painted over and it would be rewritten as Erika's victory. Why are we still here? Butler hung suspended by the Nora Red's consort. Beato had disappeared by having her existence denied, and her minions had gone too. In this cathedral that they had disappeared from, only Natsuki and the witches convincing her remained. Freaking witches. So, you still count that Kinzo is alive and remains somewhere and silent? That's correct! Father is in good health! No matter what anyone says, I will not change my statement. The Red Truth from the previous game said that Kinzo is already dead. But that's not enough to satisfy you, right, Bern? Yeah, that's right. I'm after a perfect victory. So there is nothing interesting about getting checkmate just because Kinzo's death has been confirmed by Red. I want to win by forcing Natsuki to say she's resigned. Then why don't you try it? Show us what you've got! My master, let me now achieve a perfect victory! Of course. Natsuki, you say Kinza is certainly alive, but you don't know where he is, correct? Yes, that's right. Father lives through the window and his location is unknown. He is also troublesome sometimes. Namda, I'm going to make Kinza's location from 2400 until the morning absolutely clear. Is this correct? From 2400 at the morning, Kinza stayed in the same room. Ne? Well, that's true. He was a corpse after all. No, I'm sorry. That's right. Totally right. I won't butt in. What? 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 When Butler saw him. It sounds interesting, so keep going. From now on, I'll use the word Kinza to refer to the living Kinza. After all, Natsuki claims that he's alive. I'll say more than the red truth. Kinza does not exist anywhere outside the mansion. Is it the truth? Isn't this right, Erika? Yes, my master. I searched for Kinza all over the perimeter outside the mansion. However, I was unable to find him. Oh! I'm insane. Kinza does not exist anywhere outside the mansion. So he just outside the mansion. Okay, that is truth. But is there a room outside the mansion? Is it some weird semantic shit? Because of the detective's authority, Erika could find all clues. Therefore, if Erika was unable to find the hint that Kinza existed outside the mansion, it was the same as proving the Kinza didn't exist outside the mansion. Therefore, Castell repeated the truth to Erika. Kinza does not exist outside the mansion. Hey, Natsuki, if Kinza does exist, when this means he must be somewhere inside the mansion. Do you have any idea when Kinza might be hiding? How could I know? What are you saying? I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind. Oh. We should really question ability. I searched for Kinza all over premises outside the... Really? She could do it? She's just a human being. She didn't have that much time to do this. What the hell? Because of the detective authority, Erika could find all clues. Really? All? 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 You sure? I mean, that's 100% not true because they are lying. Natsuki did not kill him. Natsuki didn't kill anybody. There would be nothing strange about him leaving the courtyard to hide somewhere in the mansion and dry the rain off. From this point forward, I will repeat the same thing several times. I'll give you many chances for an honorable surrender. If you're too stubborn, you'll lose even your true honor. No matter how you treat me, I will not give in! Based. I just love teasing pieces like you. Then, let us continue. For all aforementioned reasons, it is unthinkable that Kinza-san could have been somewhere outside the mansion. So first off, I performed an extensive search for the third floor, where the study is. However, there was nowhere he could have been hiding. We couldn't find... Oh, wrong voice. However, there was nowhere he could have been hiding. We couldn't find any trace of that on the third floor. So then, where is he, Natsuki-san? I don't know. If he isn't on the third floor, perhaps he's hiding in the basement. Ah yeah, the basement. The boiler room, the underground storage room, every part of your suspicious basement is also included in my search. Yeah, I searched too. I didn't see Father anywhere. I'll say it again. Where is Kinza-san, Natsuki-san? In this case, he probably on the first floor of the second floor. I see. Process of elimination does tell us that, doesn't it? We don't thoughtfully search the first floor, and the result? Nothing. We were unable to find Father. I'll say it again. Where was Kinzo-san, Natsuki-san? Then he was probably hiding on the second floor. How could I know where Fatherhead was hiding? Are you sure about this? Do you really not know where Kinzo-san was hiding? Madam knows where Kinzo was hiding? That's insane. That can't be true. Oshan and Kanen knew that Kinzo was already dead, so they didn't have a clue how Erika would use a phantom of a person who didn't exist to corner Natsuki. Kinzo is nowhere outside the mansion. Kinzo isn't on the third floor. Kinzo isn't in the basement. Kinzo isn't on the first floor. Therefore, the only place Kinzo could possibly exist is the second floor. I accept this red truth, Natsuki. Kinzo should be somewhere on the second floor. Will you still not tell us where he's hiding? No matter how many times you ask, it won't change the fact that I don't know. Erika, start from the beginning and go in order, investigating the entire second floor. Use the detective authority to avoid missing a single clue and to see through all types of hidden doors and hidden rooms. Why are we torturing ourselves? What are we doing? Yes, my master! Then Natsuki-san's pretty dumb, isn't she? She is kinda. She still can see where we are going with this. No need to talk more than necessary. Come on, Erika. Take everyone with you and begin the investigation. Erika used her detective authority to take everyone, even Natsuki, and go to the second floor for search in every room, starting at one end. Even for rooms that were thought to have nothing at all to do with the crime, Erika did not relax her search in slightest. Her search was throughout in every single room as they moved through the mall. So you still won't tell us where Kinzo-san is hiding? Stop saying that! How many times do I have to say that I don't know? Natsuki-san, even if you do keep searching, we'll never be able to find Kinzo-san at this rate, right? Of course. Kinzo doesn't exist. No matter how long the search continues, it's just a waste of time. Space? This was known by Erika as a witch's piece, and Natsuki, the one who knew the truth. In this case, the search will end in a room as far as the end of the corridor. Oops, sorry. In other words, it will have been proven that Kinzo wasn't in any of the rooms except this one. What do you think about that? He isn't on the third floor of the base. He isn't on the third floor, or on the first floor, or the basement, and he isn't in any of the rooms on the second floor except the one at the end. So if he really did exist inside the mansion, it had been proven that he could only exist in this room at the end. In other words, this was Hempel's Raven. Because it had been established that a living Kinzo could exist anywhere except the final room at the end of a corridor, that automatically meant that a living Kinzo existed in the final room. I'm gonna sneeze. And that room at the end of a corridor was... Which room was the end of a corridor again? Delta was munching on a refill of popcorn. You can eat a whole bag of popcorn and then you want a refill? Seriously? I never can finish a bag of popcorn, ever. That's Natsuki's room, Lady Lambda Delta. In other words, Kinzo had no place to hide except inside Natsuki's room. Do I need to say it in red? Of course! Kinzo does not exist anywhere outside Natsuki's room. But that's wicked, kinda. Well then, that means this room is the only place left. It means Kinzo-san isn't anywhere outside the room. Isn't this my room? Where exactly in this room do you claim Father is hiding? In a rage, Natsuki unlocked the door to her room and pointed inside. What's gonna happen? Of course, Kinzo was nowhere to be seen, okay? Do you see father anywhere in here? Look! I see. Look like he isn't here. Did we realize we were coming to escape out of the window? If Kinzo wasn't in the last room, it means that he didn't exist anywhere. Well, there was no living Kinzo outside the mansion. There was no living Kinzo inside the mansion. Did you search Kuvadorian? Excuse you? Therefore, no living Kinzo existed. However, Erika didn't make this argument. She had pointed that out herself without making a checkmate. It's because Berkastel didn't want to win by cornering Natsuki with the red truth. She wanted to force Natsuki to accept a humiliating resignation. I have not only been searching for Kinzo-san himself all this time, I have been looking for signs that Kinzo-san hid somewhere between 2400 and the morning, and no such signs have existed. In other words, from 2400 until morning, Kinzo was always holed up in the same room, and that was Natsuki's room. It means the checkmate of the red truth had finally cornered the piece known as Kinzo Phantom inside Natsuki's room. Hey, Natsuki-san, this means you were with Kinzo in this room until morning. Does that claim that you didn't know where he was? I'll acknowledge it was the red truth. During the night between 2400 and morning, the living Kinzo could not have existed anywhere outside Natsuki's room. I permit you to revisit the truth to advance your argument about how he could have existed in Natsuki's room. A plea bargain. Hey Natsuki, even someone as stupid as you must have realized the fix you're in right now. This is your last chance. Make Kinzo the culprit. Call the Shiremiya family. Call the Shiremiya family head a criminal and crush his head's honor to protect yourself. If you show that you have the guts to do this, I'll change the plot into one of a tragic heroine, taking the blame to protect the family head. Father is innocent! I cannot call father a criminal! She refused the deal. Okay, Burn. Do it. What are we doing? During the night between 2400 and the morning 100, there exists no place for a living Kinzo to exist except inside your bed. What? No way you went here, really? You what? Seriously? You... oh my god. You... sneaking bitch! Jesus Christ, really? Oh my god, you're so annoying. Can she shut up? I fucking love Rika Furude. Just holy fuck. Whoa. 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 Huh? And... what do you mean by that? After conducting a thorough search of your room and detailed scientific examination, I discovered that Kinzo did not exist anywhere in the room between 2100 and the morning. However, your bed is the only exception. A shocked silence dominated the room. That's you completely forgot to close your open mouth. Last night, around the time the gold has discovered, so probably about... oh! Finally, it's gonna be here, it's gonna be here, it's gonna be here, it's gonna be here. Woo! I'm sorry. Last night, around the time the gold has discovered, so probably at about 2300, Kinzo-san escaped from the window on the third floor and snuck into the bed in your room. And, as an even more unfortunate result from my investigation, it has been proven that you were also sleeping in this bed. I'll repeat it. From 2400 until morning, a living Kinzo could only have existed inside Natsuki's bed. You warrant! You disgrace! I mean, Beatrice wasn't that great with Red either. Like, how can I trust you? You're just destroying my trust in you. Destroying my trust in everything you say. As a player, I mean, I'm sorry, as a reader. It's not a game. I'm sorry. And the last night, Natsuki also slept in the same bed. Wrong voice. Wow! Look how close they were! So you two were so close to each other you sleep sharing the same pillow? Blue truth. Therefore, it is suspected that the Shiramiya Natsuki and the Shiramiya Kinzo had a sexual relationship with each other. Why else would a man and a woman share the same bed all night long? Yeah. You know what? The moment, if I were on Natsuki's place, and the moment she was like, yeah, there is no, Federica says, there is no place for Kinzo to be except for my room, I would be like, knife in hand, and suddenly stab this little girl. I'm sorry. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. She's fine. Everything's fine. But, and it's all fiction, you know? But I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I know I was so tilted in the stream as I were today. Jesus Christ. How rude! Oh really? That's what you have to say? How rude? To think that I would do such a thing with a father I respect so much. I won't allow you to say such thing. Natsuki, use the red truth to counter this plus truth. Of course, since you aren't a witch, there is no red that you can use. So I'll speak with the red truth in your place. At least I will if you can show me convincing proof. How could such proof even exist? How long you willing to sing to mock me? Damn it. That she tried to attack Erika. Really? She only tried to attack Erika now? That she tried to attack Erika, but Eva pinned her arms behind her back so she couldn't do anything. How unsightly. In order to take revenge against the Oshinamiya family, you first schemed to take control of everything and family owned. For that reason, you used your body as a weapon and ensnared Kinzo-san? You use your body as a weapon? I never did anything of this sort. I have never given my body to anyone except my husband. My husband. I understand why you want to deny it, but testimony from several witnesses had already made it clear that you had repeated secret meetings with Kinzo-san. After all, last night you went to say goodnight to Kinzo-san, with just two of you alone in the study, right? And beyond that, I've connected multiple bits of testimony regarding clear traces of sexual intercourse. What? I've collected multiple bits of testimony regarding clear traces of sexual intercourse. This sentence doesn't make sense. What? Are you insane? Who was it? Who said something so ridiculous? Goda? Shannon? Was it Iwa-san? Yeah, you must be behind something this ludicrous. Who was it? Who? A repeat testimony from those involved. Wow, that's a pretty fatal. No room for doubt now. Hey, Natsuki. Look like you don't only have a scrap of honor left now. But I still give you one final chance before they build the worst of all possible fragments. Go ahead and say Kinzo wasn't here, okay? That's right, you sure are stubborn, Natsuki. The Shiramiya family has already been torn to ribbons, right? Are you really that desperate to confuse the inheritance problem by pretending Kinzo exists? This is my final challenge to protect the honor of the Shiramiya family, which father entrusted me with. My husband's business will definitely succeed. Until we can use it to repay our debts, I cannot hand over the inheritance of the Shiramiya family. I will protect father and my husband's honor. That is my mission. Wanting to protect the honor of the dead is an admirable trait. He is not one of the dead. He's talking about the honor of a convenient illusion inside Natsuki's head. The real Kinzo never once under Natsuki to protect that honor. Oh, she looks so good. Berkastel looks so good in this one. As Natsuki screamed, she fell down to her hands and knees. She no longer had any way to reject the fake truth that Berkastel and Erika has waved. Butler just laying here listening to this and being like, fuck, should I tell him? Should I tell him? By the name as a Game Master, Lambda Delta, I acknowledge Lady Berkastel as a victor of this game. If anyone has any objections, state your name now. Everyone was silent. Of course, there were none. All of those who might have objection had been erased. Butler! No objections! Burn, this is your victory, and wonderful victory it is! Now, you must wave up the fragments to the truth! Sure, I'll go wave up the truth. This is the truth of a sad, pathetic tale. No, I did want Natsuki to acknowledge her crime while half laughing, half crying. After all, that's standard in the genre, right? Okay, that's not the end. It's not the end. Okay. I trust you. I trust you not to end this with this. When they cry, umineko no naku koro ni. I can read this kanji. Chiro? Sad backstory. Really? Why is he doing this to me? What was this pacing? After being forced into a marriage she hadn't wanted, Natsuki developed a grudge against the Ushiramiya family and she was filled with a desire for revenge. From a trial synopsis, page 3. Natsuki, also hoping to take revenge for financial submission her parent family had been forced into by the Ushiramiyas, schemed to capture Ushiramiya family's wealth. From the trial synopsis, page 4. Knowing that the wealth of the Ushiramiyya family was, in practical terms, under Kinzo's personal control, she initiated sexual relationship to carry favor with him and managed to ensnare him. From the trial synopsis, page 7. From the Berkastel docs, page 682. To carry flavor with Kinzo, Natsuki repeatedly imitated Beatrice, the witch of Kinzo's delusion, and engaged in sexual acts. Ooh, kinky! I mean, Kinzo saw his long-lost mistress in Natsuki and was easily ensnared. Furthermore, by chance, she was somewhat witnessed in a guise by servants, and this became part of a foundation for Legend of a Witch. No way? From the trial synopsis, page 8. From presented evidence number 17. From Berkastel docs, page... What? Really? There was 120 pages before this page and this page? Ooh. However, late night October 4th, 1986, Ushiramiya Butler discovered the hidden gold. The relatives were in a uproar and they decided that Butler should succeed the hardship, so Natsuki planned the crime. She murdered the children in a so-called cousin room and tried to frame Butler for the crime. Furthermore, Genji was murdered for opposing the scheme. Later on, Hiroshi was also murdered. From this point on, she displayed a strong intent to discriminately murder all of those involved. From a trial synopsis, page 27. From supplement materials B, page 61. From Berkastel docs, page 1103. The following outlines the detail of the crime. 2400, October 4th, 1986. Natsuki decided to commit the crime. She asked Genji to assist her, but was refused, so she murdered him. Really? She just did it? She just murdered him? She then murdered her husband Kraus in his own room. From the trial synopsis, page 40. From the supplement material S, page 8. From the Berkastel docs, page 100. 1105 from the GC Eternal Dog, General Affairs A08, number 9974. Afterwards, she went to so-called cousin's room on the second floor of the guest house, waited for Rosa to join the rest, and killed George, Jessica, Maria, and Rosa. She damaged the necks of those corpses. Afterwards, because there were people in the lounge on the first floor, she waited in an empty room on the second floor. She hid the empty room until the people in the lounge dispersed and went to bed. From a trial synopsis, page 41, from a supplement materials S, page 10, blah blah blah. The people in the lounge disappeared just after 3 a.m. What a bunch of bullshit. The people in the lounge, Natsuki left the empty room and escaped from the guest house. She returned to her personal room where she met with Kinzo, who has been hiding here. She stayed here until morning. Kinzo left the room. I love Kinzo's raged face in this version. Kinzo left the room early next morning and concealed himself somewhere near the guest house. I'm not reading any of this anymore. Afterwards, Kinzo saw his chance and carried out the corpses of the victim one by one, hiding them. Unfortunately, these hidden corpses have not been found. Natsuki, who had failed in her scheme to cast suspicion on Butler, changed her plan to include the murder of all present. Predicting the one of those present would eventually want to take the rest in private room, Natsuki concealed herself inside the closet in one of the guest rooms. How do you know this? At about 1 p.m., she murdered Hiroshi after he entered the room. Yeah. From the time the others became aware of the incident to the time they carried Hiroshi's corpse out, Natsuki once again concealed herself in the closet. Furthermore, to prove of this, a button from Natsuki's clothes was found in the closet. Afterwards, she left the closet and tried to return to her room. However, Furudo Erika found and questioned her as she confessed the crime. Jesus Christ, it just grows and grows! That's it? No? GC official notice number blah blah blah. Due to the result of illusion trial blah blah blah, we announce that the following has been determined. The Shiremi Natsuki did admit to her crime. Oh, she didn't! For 15 months following this announcement, related doc may be pursued at the Great Court Legal Offices Documented Management Center, first subsection. General Court Deputy Chief. Head Inquisitor of Heresy, Lenore Knox. Really? Imagine Butler gonna be right just now like objection and they need to redo all the paperwork. Then let's all assume that I did it, okay? That's all you want me to say, right? Although she given up and decided that it'll be useless to try and talk her way out of this any longer, Aunt Natsuki screamed it out. It was a sad incident. I wanted to believe that, despite the pitiable circumstances that led to her marriage into the Shiremiya family, Natsuki just might have been able to grasp a silver of happiness together with Uncle Kraus and Jessica. However, by Aunt Natsuki's own doing, Uncle Kraus and even her beloved daughter Jessica had been heartlessly killed. It was even harder to believe that grandfather had been an accomplice to hit the corpses. However, judging by the clear testimony given by several people who knew him, grandfather's mental state for these past few years had been far from what anyone should consider normal. Perhaps possessed by a mad devotion to the mistress he had lost long ago, grandfather might truly have believed that Aunt Natsuki was a reincarnation of Beatrice. Where is grandfather now? Like Erika had theorized, did he really believe that he could revive Beatrice by carrying out murders following the epitaph, succumbing to Natsuki cajolery? Right now, is he holding some kind of disturbing ceremony with the bodies he carried away? Are you satisfied now? This is what you wanted to make me say, right? Aunt Natsuki sobbed as she spoke. This is your revenge, isn't it? You, the man from 19 years ago. This man from 19 years ago that Aunt Natsuki kept mentioning was supposedly someone who had caught her in some sort of trap. However, she had only mentioned that man from 19 years ago existed, and she most certainly hadn't tried to explain what had happened 19 years ago. I mean, doesn't servants who was here at this time should know about this? Excuse me, Kumasawa was literally here? I'm sure that man's underling is one among us here. Among us? I'm sure that right now... Shoot me in the head, I'm sorry. I'm sure that right now that man is ridiculing me through one of you. Then tell me, are you happy now? Has a bit of this pain and suffering you endured for 19 years gone away? I finally understand. The reason you've cornered me so far is because you wanted to make me acknowledge that, right? She haven't even done anything bad, like... Natsuki-san, other than us, there's absolutely no one here. Please stop this insanely desperate charade and quit pretending that someone who doesn't exist actually does. Erika laughed mockingly, but as Aunt Natsuki looked at us... No, she looked at someone behind us. She hung her head in shock. Then she confessed to her sin. What about... Ken Butler? I committed murders. So you finally acknowledge your crime directly? No, this is not about what was happened today and yesterday. I will confess to murders that occurred 19 years ago. Based? You didn't even kill him! Oh my god! The adults all whispered together, wondering what this was about. What about... Oh, Roses is dead, so it's fine. Wondering what was this about, because they had never heard about a murder case 19 years ago. 19 years ago, I committed a sin. I couldn't forgive it. That baby. Baby? No, what are you talking about? On the day 19 years ago, Father entrusted me with a baby. Since I still couldn't bear a successor on my own, Father told me to adopt a child, and he made me hold a baby that he said had been brought here from an orphanage. Do you have any idea how humiliating that was to me as a woman? With a mix of conflicting emotions of anger, sadness, regret, and possibly defiance, Uncle Natsuki confessed her humiliation as a woman when she was no longer expected to bear a child, and also the indescribably unpleasant feeling of being made to hold an unfamiliar baby. It caused her great sadness and rage, and before very many nights passed, it ate a hole into her heart. And then, I sold my soul to demons. I don't need... Hold on. To sell my soul. He's already in me. Sorry. I happened when I went and walked through the Rose Garden to the harbor along with a servant holding a baby. I wanted to be alone, but that female servant holding a baby faithfully followed me everywhere. I was unable to even tell her to stop following me, and therefore unable to escape from this child crying. That day marked the beginning of 19 long, headache-filled years. Oh, that's a lot of a headache? That's how you started getting your migraines? That's so dumb. Then we faced the cliff from across the fence. But by taking the baby and throwing it down to the rocky beach below me, I couldn't do it all. I really did listen to this demon's temptation. Then, for the smallest of moments, I thought of how wonderful it would be to really could do that, and let an ear to the temptation. At that time, the servant holding the baby stepped on a large rock, twisted her ankle, and staggered. She leaned against a rough fence, and at the time I thought I heard the fence creak loudly. I told her to look out and try to grab her shoulder. You literally tried to help her. What's your problem, Natsuki? No, I shouldn't be so weak. I'll repent. I'll confess. At this moment, I'm sure that as I told her to look out, with both hands, I reached for the servant's shoulder, and with a thud, push her away hard. Okay. Yeah, I see. The rope fan snapped from the base, and the servant, alone with the baby held in her arms, fell down towards the rocky beach below. But did you actually did this, or is it just your perception of yourself told you that you tried to do it, but in reality you actually tried to save her or something like this? Even though I remember that moment vividly, for some reason I recall this vague and a very strange feeling. It almost felt as though instead of falling, the two of them were silently swallowed up into an empty space. Oh, they went to a metaverse, so I didn't even hear the sound of them crashing to Rocky Beach. Now I'm sure I heard it, but because I wanted to think that they'd disappeared, I must have erased that sound from my memory. Or the same clip that Angie killed herself from. Great facial expression. And then? For an instant, I thought it was a dream. It was high enough that I couldn't see the two of them below me just leaning over, so I didn't know whether their fall or the few seconds before that had actually happened or not. I must have been wishing so strongly that the child would fall that I just had a daydream. Trying to make myself believe this, I hurried back to the rose garden. Then I decided to let the servants take care of a baby, choosing to take the rest alone in the garden. Then, father asked me what happened to a baby. An uproar began over the disappearance of a servant who had been in charge of it. Eventually, the broken fence was discovered, and two corpses were found at the bottom of the cliff. Okay, they are real, sure. The child had apparently been here for a reason that couldn't be known, so its existence hushed up. An official story that the servant had an accident on her own and died. That's right. I stole away two innocent lives in one go. Questionable? As for the poor servant, her family was graciously compensated. Her aged husband, who didn't know the truth, accepted this event though he grieved over the unfortunate accident. Then, just a few years ago, he died of old age, and I confessed the truth over his grave, apologizing. Colored. But until this day, I have never apologized to this baby. Yes, that's what you're after, isn't it? So right here, right now, I'll confess my crime. I, Shiramiya Natsuhi, did 19 years ago push you off the cliff and try to kill you. Did you though? But you didn't die, did you? You're still alive and you still call me mother. This is so weird shit. You came to this island and took your revenge on me, didn't you? For these 19 years, you knew that the one you should have called your mother pushed you off the cliff. You greatly overestimate the ability of a child to remember things, Natsuhi. And I must have lived a very hate-filled life. And now you're taking everything I've gained since pushing you off the cliff. 18 years of my life and smashed it all to pieces. I no longer have my beloved husband and daughter. And I've lost even my honor, and I am being called a murderer. No, I'm a murderer, aren't I? Yeah, that's right. It all went according to your plans. I'm not regained as a killer. Now is this enough for your revenge? My husband and daughter have been killed. I've been made to look like a murderer, and an adulteress even. I'm sorry. After seeing me living in disgrace like this, are you satisfied? Yes, I bet you're quite satisfied, because my family, my honor, everything had been stolen from me. After this, you do still claim that you were framed? Seriously, you just don't know where to give up. Can you hear me? You, the cursed child from 19 years ago. Are you satisfied now? You've stolen everything from me now. What else could you want? Please, just forgive me. It's a fucking long-ass episode. It's useless, isn't it? Huh? Butler-san, did you say something? I'm sorry. It's all useless. But Butler-kun? Yeah. It's useless, isn't it? It's all useless. Is it no good at all? Cast. No! What? No! I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna die. What? Umineko died before the game started. Died on the first. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about all of this. What the hell? I hate you. I hate this. Oh, let's read the same sequence we already read before. Isn't it interesting? I can't believe this shit fucking pacing. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna fucking survive and finish this dumb fucking game. Do I need to stay for the end of the credits? I'm taking a break. 5 minutes, be right back. I'm back. I'm back. Oh? I'm sorry. It's not only did Umineko end it in unsatisfying way, there's also a huge pile of dishes that I need to make. that I need to do. And there is no hot water, so I need to do a huge pile of dishes in a cold water. There is nothing worse than this. Tea party, isn't there... Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark? It's not here? I swear to God, if it's not gonna start with something good, I'm gonna fucking flip. Erika? Lenore? Yes, my master! You called? I want you to stay in this fragment and explain everything in remaining first through 4 games. That's beautiful. Transistent witch who supports the illusion of the witch no longer exists yourself, exposing naked truth thoughtfully. Leave it to me, my master. There is no riddle that I, Frodo Erika, cannot solve. Is there? Of course. That's why you're my piece, my double. Burkastel wore a massive and horrible smile which Erika shared. Beatrice's illusion of a witch would disappear, and the results in all of the previous game would be painted over. It had been crushed in every way possible, and only the naked truth remained. Such a weak truth had no better than wish on the chopping board for Erika. Is it possible to explain all of the past 4 games with Natsuki as a criminal? Or with certain irregularities based off this team? I won't let anyone say it's a crime of the witch Beatrice again. I'll start compiling it and together at once and then present the first red tale to you. You're more like a journalist than not a detective. You mustn't leave even a single fragment of Beata legend of witch behind. The rumors among the servants, the way people talk about the unexplained events as though that legend was the cause, and the illusion of the witch that work alongside the illusion of Kinsa, deal with all of them completely. Of course! I'll get to it right away! We now have the furniture in custody. We're hurrying to identify their vessels. What about Butler? The Seven Sisters of Purgatory had already been taken into custody. Those noisy sisters who had been served beato now faced nothing but denial. What sort of illusion were they based upon allowed them to manifest? Real people? Everything would be exposed and denied. A certain Jungfrau has already begun its investigation. According to the most recent results, there is a high probability that they were constructed during the 1960s in the vicinity of New York. What? An aide has been sent to the location. The 1960s? The Seven Sisters of Purgatory are made in USA? Even though they bragged about being furniture connected with King Solomon and serving a 1,000-year-old wage, there's total sham. Who was it? According to the report, there is this group of big-time swindlers who make money by selling fakes to rich fans of the occult. Because the decisive millionaires try to sell all fakes as though they were real, there's a chance that they've been falsely defined by enthusiasts in the field. We are rushing to find confirmation and further details. So Shiremiya Kinzo was a sucker who'd pay big bucks for a fake occult object. And that's what the Seven Sisters of Purgatory really are? That's hilarious. A total sham, just like Beato's illusion of a witch. No, they call themselves the Seven Deadly Sins are actually cheap fake souvenirs. Well, from the very beginning, I figured they were nothing more than paperweights sold at some shady souvenir shop. Paperweights. Have you confronted the Seven Sisters with truth yet? No, not yet. They still seriously believe that they were created by a grey sorcerer over 1,000 years ago. I'd like to confront them with perfect evidence and the truth right away, and let them know that they're mere paperweights worth less than $30 US. When you do, I wonder what their faces will look like as they lose all hope. Can't wait. Call for me when this happens. I'll come to watch with some of the best black tea and dried plum. Beato's illusion of a witch had already been penetrated. Stop saying, stop. And it's been proven that everything was simply the result of human delusions. What kind of delusions created them, and what caused this in the first place? When the answers were proven perfectly and showed in the face of those concerned, the illusion would vanish and become annihilated. No, they're real people! What are you talking about? This is what they meant by execution. An execution is not a show. As a general rule, it is not made public. This is an exception by a great Lady Bercastel, member of the Senate, so she can observe that the great court is performing its duty satisfactorily. Do you, as a mere Inquisitor of Heresy, wish to deny her this right? She fucked off. Yeah, that's right. I'm just observing, as a representative of the Senate, to make sure you follow the proper procedures when you carry out your work. We are currently preparing to take Virgilia, Renov, and Galop into custody as well. The Chester Sisters, why the fuck are they getting arrested? The Chester Sisters, Imperial Guards, are conducting that investigation. Of course, we will then detain and execute those three connected to Beatrice. Lenore, this is the true nature of... What is the true nature of Chester Sisters? We believe that it's a high likelihood that their vessels are weapons used in the crimes. Okay, I believe this. They are literally called as guns. For this purpose, Senior Aide Gertrude was formed a special team. We are currently investigating all cases. I'm looking forward to the Chester Sisters' execution too. One at a time? Or all of them at once? Oh, bunny violence? What the hell? No one's stupid enough to put an entire can of tea leaves in pot at once. You got to enjoy it slowly, one spoonful at a time. Exactly! Let's hear their execution on consecutive days. For the furniture and the witches, one by one. I'll send you an execution show every day. Wonderful. After all, there really are a lot of them. Look like we'll be able to enjoy ourselves for a full 2 weeks. Maybe we can let them decide which one to execute first. Where is the story going? Make sure to think up something great for his execution concept. I'd like to enjoy executions both old and new, from east and west every day. The rules state that the method of execution is to follow great court regulations. Leave it to me, my master. I will most certainly prepare you a fascinating execution show. Ignored. Oh, and you better quarter at least one of them. Of course! I shall make a list of the best forms of execution from all countries, from Europe to Asia, which were used by kingdoms east and west for crimes no less than a treason against the king. Nah, I think the execution which people used in like wars are much more gruesome than some fucking sick fuck medieval executions. Or should I say torture? Sorry. I'd like to think up some execution methods myself. Pondering that will be perfect way to relax on those sleepless nights. I'll iron my ideas and send you a letter soon. Certainly, my master. Then we'll have the Bercastel style one at the grand finale. At the very, very end, while all illusion are broken and Beata's magic compendium has been completely crushed, I shall present my master with that finest of executions that she desires, the execution of Beatrice. Thank you, Erika. Thanks to you, it seems I'll be able to forget the pain of my illness for just a while. What's this line is about? You're just perfect. My peace, my double, and my adorable daughter. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Your words are too good for me, my master. Jesus Christ. Mother issues. Erika, I'll give you honor and reward, and that reward is the greatest symbol of Beatrice, the portrait from the reception hall. Take that off, smash it to make firewood, bake a cake with that and eat it, really? Then I allow you to put your portrait up in a Romanian frame. Are they gonna show me? Oh! Jesus, she looks so cute here! Look at this chair that's been smashed. Whoa. Thank you very much! It's a great honor! You will eradicate and erase Beatrice's name and all traces of her. Until that is all finished, I will order that you be made the master of a sealed over Kojima. By the name of Witches of Miracle, Bercastel, proclaim that you will be given the rank of a witch until next day. Uh-oh! 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 Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a good idea? Uh-oh! From now on, you will call yourself Erika, the Witch of Truth. Oh no! It's never ends good. Oh, fuck. We're fucked. What about Butler? The Witch of Truth! Thank you very much, my master! I vow to work even harder so that this honor will not be wasted! Even though she was nothing more than a piece. She was being granted the honor of calling herself a witch like her master, if only for a brief stretch of time. Erika was so moved that her action had been acknowledged in the greatest form that she trembled. Lenore, continue to aid Erika and report to her progress to me. As you wish. By the way, where is Lambda? She's over here. From the guest sitting on the second floor, she pointed downwards. Lambda Delta could be seen beneath Butler, who hung here, dead and pierced by the red longsword. Mishiramiya Butler, you were an interesting guy, and you must have become even more interesting, but too bad. What a wonderful way to die. Erika, you can hang Butler corpse in a mansion reception hall. The next time I come to visit the fragment, welcome me in front of it. Certainly, my master. I'll make that foolish man an eternal monument to my master's victory. That sounds wonderful, really tasteful. Maybe you can coat him with a plaster and make a beautiful white statue. And I'll be wondering if you decorated him all cute. Yes, Lady Lambda Delta, I will strive to answer your expectations. Congratulations on becoming a witch. Though, just for a while, I'll welcome you as a friend. Erika was so overcome with emotion that tears came from her eyes. Because for a beast, no greater pleasure exists than having your work acknowledged by your master. In the end, I'd like to have Beata suffer too. Then I'll decorate the reception hall with her. Galaxy Express? That one is a knight of the... You know, anime references? You know, I read that back when I was a witch. When I wasn't a witch, I always thought it strange that human who obtain eternal life would become so cruel. At the time, I honestly couldn't relate. After becoming a witch and living 1,000 years, I truly understand it. That writer could understand our cruelty really well, in the truest sense. Really? Well, you go next. I'll bet we say farewell with our back turned, right? That's because I don't want you to let you get bored. Thanks, Bern. But you can be sure... Oh, I mixed their voices. But you can be sure I'll count to 100 and then start searching for you again. Goddamn gay people. You really don't let a person get bored. That's why I love you. Ooh, that's why I like you, love you, okay? Let's meet again somewhere. However, we may not be reunited for another 100,000 years, if ever. That's okay. The sea of fragments is tiny to a pair who love each other. Fuck you, gay people. The third man? No, children of paradise, of course. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Good. If you could escape the poison or just a single evening worth of boredom, each time you smash one of those cutlass fragments that glitter like a starry night, even you would want to count the stars in the sky. Oh, not bad. The Voyager witches travel across the countries. Did I read at least one word right in the sentence? I don't think so. The Voyager witches travel across the countless glittering future of possibility and gobble them, trying to escape the illness called boredom for as long as they can. The tiny fragment created by a human known as Beatrice, human? Had now been gobbled up by two witches and had lost its glitter. The two who had earlier called themselves rivals in front of Beata now stopped their charade and laughed together playfully. Erika, new ruler of this fragment, waved the truth and created the tale that leads up upon the world's demise. The next was the 6th game, right? Yes, it's a 6th game! Decide the title for episode 6 yourself. After all, you're already the spinner of this tale, as well as the master. Thank you very much! Actually, I've already decided on one. Oh? Already? Then let me hear it. What kind of title is this? Yes, episode 6. I'd really like to leave you hanging for a bit, but I'll tell you. Come on, stop being smartass and tell us! A new witch like you shouldn't be teasing your seniors. This expression. Episode 6, Checkmate of the Golden Witch. Sure. Yay! Question mark had been added. You can find the new feature on the title screen. Nope. Welcome to the tea party of those who are not human. Are we gonna see resolution of the episode or no? In a cathedral devoid of people, a figure could be seen still standing up at the heavens, its chest pierced down along the red sword that pinned it to place to the ground. That figure was Butler. Ironically, it looked like what he's done to Beata with blue wages in the first game. Fucking religious imagery. Butler had died quite some time ago. No, in this place, the concept of death means nothing except that one stopped thinking. Ooh! Therefore, in a sense, the butler was not dead. After being defeated in a fight over truth and surrendering, he no longer had the strength to think of way to resist. That's what made him dead. Lenore's massive longsword, which had been left in the place of a tombstone, fastened Butler to the spot even after his death. This was all being lit by a faint light slipping out of an incredibly high skylight. Oops. Quiet footsteps rang out across the steel cathedral. Oh, she's here! From the darkness behind the pillar, a woman slowly stepped forward. It was Beatrice. Just like they'd been the whole time in the Golden Land, her eyes had no light in them, and were still muddled over with grey. Oh yeah, this part of a hero's journey, when hero gets no sparkle in their eyes, and they just stand here while everybody else solve their problems. I mean, I'm not against it, I like this part. And were still muddled over with grey. The person was unable to drink black tea. This person was once unable to even drink black tea to her satisfaction on her own will, but though it was slow, as though there was no life in her eyes, she was surprisingly walking. Then, with slow, deliberate steps, she reached Butler, who was still dead, pierced through. Then, she slowly touched Butler. She tugged on his sleeve. However, Butler showed no reaction. When she realized that it wasn't sleep, but death, the witch with a hopeless gaze let her head hang even lower. Then she quietly whispered, "You liar." Beata slowly touched Butler. Then she pressed her forehead against Butler's chest. There was no longer any heartbeat. It wasn't just because he had surrendered. It was because the witches had chased him from the game board. So from now on, Butler would never return, excuse me? So from now on, the Golden Witch Beatrice would have no reason to exist. Thank you, liar. Goodbye. And sorry. Why did he make you cry again? No. What the fuck? No! No! Not my wife! No! Bring her back! Bring her back! Roll the table! Then, the Golden Witch completed her— No, she didn't! Completed her task and scattered as a spray of gold. No, she didn't! Don't lie to me! Where are we going? In the Golden Land, the grey rain gently continued to fall. There was a faint aroma of a gold-black tea. Beata stared blankly at its surface. There was Virgilia continuing her knitting, alone with me and Lenore talking to each other. This is a recollection from Butler's memory, which Lenore's sword must have given him as it pierced him. A recollection of the time Lenore had come to visit the tea party in the Golden Land. It's the same with me. The next time we cross swords, I won't hold back. Bring it on. I'll be your opponent. Come at me with all you've got. I promise. With everything I've got. Lenore, huh? I thought she had an emotionless killer doll without a heart, but maybe she actually is pretty approachable. Though of course neither of us will show any mercy when fighting over the game board. For a while, we gazed at the rain-drenched rose garden as we quietly enjoyed our tea. Still, it really is terrifying, the way you fight. Nox's 10 Commandment. Or is it Decalogue? Was it? Huh? A certain Jungfrau, one of the repentance enforcement agencies supervised by the Great Court of Heaven. Its area of jurisdiction is the 7th District. It's made up of 7 Inquisitor of Heresy, with the first-class Archbishop Lenore at their head, and several assistant Inquisitors. The body's task was performing heresy interrogations, carried out execution, and sometimes bestowing redemptions. However, in almost all cases, the Great Court of Heaven considers sending them only after the completion of heresy interrogation and tentative guilty verdict, so they are, practically speaking, no different than an execution squad. Their spectacular achievements are great in number, and they are extremely well known, even amongst the other agencies. Other famous enforcement agencies include the CCVD of the 8th District. It's rumored that this group leader, Wizard Hunting Right, also known as the 20 Wages, Phoenix, right? It's even more powerful than Lenore, okay? The Red Key, a weapon for emergencies used by official Inquisitor of Heresy belonging to a certain Jungfrau, Lenore's primary weapon. Unlike a normal weapon, whose purpose is to cause physical damage, this special tool is known as a conceptual weapon, and it used to deny the existence of concepts. The Blue Key, the primary weapon used by official Inquisitors of Heresy belonging to a certain Jungfrau. Like a Red Key, it's a conceptual weapon, but instead of denying the existence of concepts, it's used to create self-doubt and force others to deny themselves. For this reason, it's called the Blue Key of Reflection, in contrast with the Red Key of Judgment. Unlike the Red Key, it's possible to evade and defend against it. However, while the Red Key has severe restriction regarding how it can be used, the Blue Key can be wielded with a great ease and manipulated at will in all situations. Oh, Nox 5's not included! You piece! You covered! Nox Decalogue, the 10th Commandment created by Lenore Nox's father and used in heresy trials. Nox 1st, it's forbidden for the culprit to be anyone not mentioned in early part of a story. Nox 2nd, it's forbidden for supernatural agencies to be employed as a detective technique. Nox 3rd, it's forbidden for hidden passage to exist. Nox 4th, it's forbidden for unknown drugs or hard-to-understand scientific devices to exist. Nox 5th, not included! Covered! Nox 6th, it's forbidden for accident or intuition to be employed in detective technique. Nox 7th, it's forbidden for the detective to be a culprit. Nox 8th, it's forbidden for the case to be resolved with clues that are not presented. Nox 9th, it's permitted for observers to let their own conclusions and interpretation be heard. Nox 10, it's forbidden for character to disguise himself as another without any clues. Nox 9, it's actually not this, but okay. The debate over interpretation of these laws continued to this very day, and it had become the source of countless unfair controversies. The fundamentalists call any infringement upon these commandments heresy. Revisionists point out that many canonized geniuses have violated these rules. True! Characters? I can click through them. That's nice. Why she looks like this? Those classic rules of a mystery genre, right? Yes, they are commandments conceived by my father. Hidden doors must not exist. That's not absurd, right? That means there is no need for detectives to even look for hidden doors. Sounds pretty ridiculous. Rocastelle said it herself. She said that because they were forbidden by Nox Third, even searching for hidden doors was a waste of excuse me? I'm sorry? Again? It's forbidden for hidden passages to exist, but in OG version, it's not forbidden. It's limited, right? Huh. I'd like to counter this by saying it probably isn't so uncommon for a rich family mansion to have a hidden door to build into it. That's so true. Oh, I'm falling asleep. But apparently, that sort of rule works perfectly well in a mystery genre. By the way, there exist many wonderful mysteries in which hidden doors appear, and where hidden doors are the thing. Of course, this is limited to novelists which have the premise that hidden door exists. If that premise doesn't exist, hidden doors must not exist. What is this game trying to teach me how to criticize media? I know how to do it! So because this premise doesn't exist, there is no need to search for hidden doors. I think it's probably the essence of your ridiculous argument. Can umineko criticize its own pacing, please? It's like a detective trying to expose the truth, and the illusion trying to confuse it with a mixture of truth and lies, are getting blended together, leading to a bizarre form of argument similar to devil's proof. Making a closed-room murder seem to be accomplished by a witch with magic as fantasy. Exposing that it was a human's crime done with tricks is anti-fantasy. Examining all possibilities to expose the nature of those tricks is mystery. But is it also mystery to claim that possibilities with no hints supporting them are unworthy of investigation? Let's say a hidden door is hidden in a way there would be no clues. Would claiming that a hidden door therefore exists, even though a detective couldn't find it, be anti-mystery? That's enough of that. This argument is too far on a of a digression from the riddles I'm actually supposed to be solving. My fight is very simple. I'm only fighting to explain how it was possible for a human to carry out these crimes that were supposedly carried out by a witch. This whole discussion about mystery and anti doesn't serve any purpose, does it? That's why it didn't serve any particular interest regarding these rules known as the Nox Decalogue. Do you dislike Nox? It doesn't work for me. There's something strange about making it possible to deny the existence of all hidden doors without investigating. It's about as dubious as the devil's proof. Even though it's supposed to be exact opposite of a fantasy, it somehow feels like it's the same kind of argument. I shouldn't have said this. Your dad was the one who made them, after all. Do not worry. After all, there are some who say it is nothing more than a silly game. Well, I wouldn't call it a game, actually. Your decalogue feels like something very arrogant to you. The decalogue feels like something very arrogant to you, right, Butler-kun? To be honest, yeah. If an actual detective said he didn't need to look for hidden doors because they must not exist, everyone would start looking around on the floor to see if someone of his screws had come loose. In that case, Butler, let us say that the third commandment didn't exist. In this case, what would happen to closed room mysteries? What if Nox third, hidden doors are forbidden, didn't exist? In other words, hidden doors would always work just fine as a standard trick for closed rooms. This does not refer to hidden doors with hints or foreshadowing. It refers only to doors that even the detective cannot find because of course they are hidden. Butler-kun, you often fight by using devil's proof, assuming the existence of an undiscoverable element X. That's what this is all about. That'd be horrible. The closed room mystery genre wouldn't be worth reading at all. And if it were no longer worth anyone's time, it would cease to exist. No one would want to try solving the riddle from the beginning, not if they knew the answers might be an unforeseeable hidden door. Interesting. Unless you have some guarantee that no hidden door exists, you don't really feel like trying to reason it out. I see. So Nox third is necessary. Without it, it wouldn't be worth reading closed-room mysteries. And if you really didn't feel like trying to reason it out, what would that lead to? It means you wouldn't even want to read it. That's it. Humans are weak creatures who can't even think unless they have proof that reasoning is possible. The reasoning is possible. In other words, they need encouragement to let them know that they can solve it if they work hard enough. This might be true. It's the same with exercising. If you're told to run around the campus 10 times, you can tough it out. However, you don't know how many times you're supposed to run around it. You'd probably get tired out before you made it around 3 times. The same thing goes for thinking and reasoning. Humans view a problem differently depending on whether or not it's guaranteed to be solvable. In detective novels, there's always a scene where a detective announces that he discovered who the culprit is. That's a sign saying the hints have all been given to the previous parts of a story. So dear readers, please try to reason it out. I always thought it was just a classic line, but I guess it does also have that effect. To put it harshly, until the detective says that, readers won't feel like trying to solve it, no matter how much they love solving mysteries. That's true. Weren't you like that yourself in the previous games? Now that I hear it, maybe that really was the case. Maybe my fight against Beata really began in the second game. At first, I didn't seriously try to tackle the closed room riddles Beata threw at me. After all, I knew nothing except that people had died in the closed room and the window and the doors were all locked from the inside. I mean, seriously, talk about having no hints to go on. So I refused to argue on the grounds that I couldn't fight, because of a lack of clues made reasoning impossible. I mean... After that, didn't Beata sneer at me, asking whether I'd repeat that over and over forever in an endless repetition of moves? At that time, Beata has said, "Of course not. I'll give you the thing people like you always demand. Can we finish this? And I need to go wash my dishes." The reason you always stop thinking and then moan about its lack of information. If you're given information, you start doubting whether information is true or not by denying the basis. Isn't it convenient? What clever little words to hide your own incompetence. That's what I do. But you know, I am incompetent. Then she said she'd give me a certain information that couldn't be denied. I created a rule called the Red Truth, which every fucking person now destroys. Once we reached this point, the curtain finally rose on my battle with Beata. So that's when I finally had the guarantee that I could solve this tale if I tried, and I step up to the stage with her for the first time. Beatrice, she's a strange person. Though riddles are the only holes witches can live within, she began to riddle use the Red Truth, a method by which those riddles could be solved. You could say the Red Truth is a hint Beata gave me, so that I can complete it in a war of reasoning. Oops. Like Candy, because I've been given hints. It's like she's saying, try and solve it, for it can be solved. An enigma that's guaranteed to be solvable can be called a true enigma. It's almost as though Beata herself is admitting that she isn't really a witch. What is this Sonic the Hedgehog face? My. That does seem logical. She truly is a strange child. Beata gave no answer. With grey eyes, she did nothing but blankly gaze at the steam rising from the black tea. Oh, I want some tea. My father created the Decalogue to act as a crutch for the power of thinking. I'm not certainly wasn't made as a way to arrogantly decide things. A crutch for the power of thinking. That's right. By Nox 8, it's forbidden for the case to be resolved with the clues that are now presented. That does not only mean that one is forced to avoid making theories that are not supported by clues. If you turn it around, it means that the one proposing the riddles is forced to display clues that lead to the solution. Wait, is all this time Umineko was a commentary on the mystery in Higurashi? Excuse me? In other words, if you follow the Decalogue, all riddles must have hints, and therefore it's guaranteed that finding the solution is possible. I see, so this is what they mean by the crutch for the power of thinking. If you can't believe that it's solvable, you start wanting to have a go at those riddles. If you're capable of believing that hints do exist, you get fired up about rereading the story to search for them. So true? I'll admit that it might have power to give a courage for those trying to solve it. You seem to think that Nog's Decalogue is a series of restrictions imposed by one who made the mystery, but it's also vital for the readers. By using the Decalogue as a crutch, we are given the courage needed to use reasoning, as well as a whiplover to reread the tale several times in search for the clues that we know must be hidden here. I don't know. For me, if I respect a story, hold on, let me word it correctly. My brain stopped working for some reason. I can't read, I can't think, I can't talk. For me, if I go into a mystery story, the only thing I want from this story is for the story to have all clues at you, not from the beginning, but you know, closer to the end. From like middle of the story, I have all clues to be presented, and that's the only thing I kind of want from a story, right? I don't give a fuck about other stuff, you know? Hold on. Like, hidden passage could exist if they established it. The only rule is actually valid for me. I'm reading all of this again. It's forbidden for the case to be resolved with the clues that are not presented. The only this one is valid for me. Everything else, you can do whatever the fuck you want, to be honest. Like, you can set up a contraption, but you need to justify its existence through the clues, or like... For example, if a killer is a scientist or something, wouldn't it be logical for him to actually use a contraption? Right? It's a way. There is a lot of ways to use all of this. By the way, when I'm reading this last one, it's forbidden for a character to disguise himself as another without any clues. I'm like, that's like in that game. That's what they did in that game. But in that game, they justified it, right? They did justify it. Even though it was weird. It was weird as fuck. We're not talking about this game here. It's like the lid of a jar of a jam that's too tight and won't open. Like Mom always used to say, if you think you can't open it, then it really won't open no matter how hard you try. What? Just use a knife. Just use a knife, put it in between the cup and the body of a jar, put a knife and be really gentle, because I did broke multiple knives this way. But you know, the point is not that I broke the knife, the point is that I opened the jar. The same thing happened in sports. They say whether or not you have a strong image of yourself and believe you can win no matter what, has a large impact on the records. In this case, the Nog's Decalogue isn't really a set of arrogant and strict restrictions. Strict restrictions! Excuse me? You can also see it as a way to encourage readers who are trying to solve the mystery by telling them to give it their all, since it's definitely solvable. Yeah, but you jeopardize the red truth now. Like, how can I trust you in anything? That's an interesting way to interpret it. Still, I've heard that not all detectives novel around the world follow the Decalogue all the time, right? When you bump into one of those, won't you feel tricked? Even the Decalogue is not more than a single interpretation, and it cannot be applied to all mystery stories. Though among fundamentalists of my father's work, it seemed there are those who harshly criticize works that violate the Decalogue and call them heresy. Higurashi? There is no end of argument like this in the mystery world. Was this or that famous detective novel really a fair mystery? In other words, one that followed Nox's Decalogue? I don't know. I don't think it's fair to all the time consider mystery books as mystery, right? Hold on. I don't think it's fair for mystery books to be only valued as their mystery aspect and not as their book aspect. But if we using I don't think I'm proving the point. Hold on. So what did I say before? I don't think it's valid to only judge mystery books as a mystery books and not as literature. You know? In the end of the day, I still kind of want, no matter what book I read, I still want it to have a compelling plot. Right? And that's why I don't like... I already talk about it. That's why I don't like most mystery books, because if you stripped it out of mystery, it's not gonna be a compelling story. Characters not gonna be good, the team's not gonna be really good most of the time, you know? When I read books, I kind of hope for a mystery sometimes when I read a mystery book, but I'm more interested in a good story more than anything. Jesus. This sort of argument is already an eternal theme of the mystery world. In fact, in mystery discussions, argument like this sometimes becomes even more heated than a discussion of actual tricks. I can understand why they want to criticize it. They try to solve it, believe it's solvable, and follow the Decalogue, but it's actually not made to be solvable like this at all. Higurashi? I can understand how that's got pretty annoying. Higurashi. That's right, when fighting with the Decalogue, there's just one thing that you want guaranteed from the beginning. In other words, you want to guarantee that this detective novel will adhere to the Decalogue. Not really, but okay. If Ukake labels itself as an orthodox mystery, then you have nothing to worry about. However, the mystery genre contains many unorthodox subgenres within. Does it mean trying to use reasoning as an orthodox detective novel is a complete waste of time? Looking at it this way, it really does feel arrogant. Yes, I also find it extremely sad that my father's Decalogue has been used as such an arrogant weapon. Then again, you just fought against Beata using the Decalogue as a weapon. Can I take that proof that this world of Beata follows the Nox Decalogue? Ooh, we don't know. When I asked that, there was a strange silence. Virgilia, Lenore, and of course Beata all remained silent for a while. Almost as though my question had touched the core or something. That is something I cannot answer myself. Why? This is the game that child made, a game to decide which of the two of you will win. This child has called it a confrontation between mystery and fantasy. But unfortunately, she never said it was an orthodox mystery. That means you have no guarantee that it follows the Decalogue. But at the same time, Miss Beatrice had said that this game, in contrast, is a contest between you and her. In other words, there is a chance that you could win. In other words, you're trying to say that reasoning is possible? If you ask this child, she'll probably say that reasoning is possible. However, just as she is a challenger and you are the challenge, the two of you are different creatures. Something Beata might have proposed, thinking it is solvable, may or may not be solvable for you as well. For example, let's say we propose a simple riddle that any Japanese person would know. However, if the person we're telling this riddle is to foreigner with a Japanese-English dictionary in their hand, it might be almost impossible to solve. In other words, it's possible to have one-sided solvable problem, which might be easy for the questionnaire, but extremely difficult for the person trying to solve it. By the way, do you know of the foreign riddle? Why do dragons sleep all day? Dragonova naze hirukane nemute wa. Sorry, my Japanese is so bad. Kariru ka. Teo shitteru ka? Dragon. Because dragon spelled is not as, I want to say, dragon spelled in katakana, which means it's a foreign word, right? Because it's not true, it's a dragon. Why do dragons sleep all day? Is it like a wordplay? What is it supposed to be? Why do dragons sleep all day? The answer is to battle the night. Night o tatao tame dakara. I don't remember how to read a word for night. Dragon wa naze wa nemute bakari ru ka tatakau tame dakara. Okay, I don't get it. I'm sorry. It's riddle from the English realm, so it might be a little tough for a Japanese person. Butler? Why do dragons sleep all day? To battle the night. Why do dragons sleep all day? To battle the night. Battle the night. I still don't get it. For that reason. They're not gonna explain it to me? Why do dragons sleep all day? So they can fight nights. Dragons are mystical reptiles that can fly. They appear in many cultures and tradition. Dragon come in many sizes. In the joke, a dragon sleeps during the day because it has a night shift. Huh? To battle the night. Why do dragons sleep all day? To battle the night. I feel like I was defeated by the language barrier. In a joke, a dragon sleeps during the day because it has a night shift. It uses night to refer to night. So they can fight nights. Pardon my French, doesn't make any sense. They fight knights. Whatever. Just kill me. Whatever. I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. For that reason, I cannot say for certain that this tale is something you will be able to solve. However, I can promise you one thing. I will guarantee it was the red truth. What? Beata wanted you to solve it, so she made this game. The riddles of this table solvable. That alone I will guarantee was the red truth. It was the one guarantee that all those who try to use reasoning desire. I don't know if my father's decalogue will apply to this answer or lead you to it. However, when you run into a tight spot and want to compass for your reasoning, please try using my decalogue if you remember. It might give you a renewed courage and might possibly even lead to some new discovery. Thank you. If I'm truly stuck, I'll think about your fighting style. Are you sure it's okay to help out an enemy like this? Wait, no mind. I came to this tea party without a gift. I hope you enjoyed this in a place of a snack. And if you come face to face with me again, there probably won't be time to speak of such things so casually. Nog's decalogue and Virgilia's red truth. Beata wanted me to solve it, so she made the riddles of the game solvable. In other words, Beata wants me to be capable of solving it. Isn't that proof that reasoning is possible? Of course, that's from Beata's point of view, and it doesn't necessarily mean that the reasoning is possible for me. Compared to before now, when I didn't even know whether reasoning was possible or not, that one line might give me a great deal of courage. At least there was the power to silence any negative thoughts about this all being useless. Unless you other party are sure that your reasoning is possible, you won't do it. It's almost like love between shy young people. Love? Yes. Unless you have proved that the other person loves you first, you don't want to love them back. Right? Both boys and girls want to hear someone else say they love them first. That's their dream. If they're in love, they don't want to love the other person until they're sure this person loved them back. Really? After all, there is nothing as painful as a one-sided love, and the scars of the heart left behind last a long time. Because they are afraid of the pain, they want proof that the other person loved them first more than anything else. I see. That's an interesting way to explain the relationship between writer and a reader in a detective novel. Yeah, maybe you could liken detective novels to that. Both the writer and the reader first want the other party to say that they'll solve it, or that it can be solved, until the writer is assured that the riddle will certainly have a go at the riddle if they propose it. They don't want to write their story. The same goes for the readers. Until they are sure that they will certainly be able to solve the riddle if they try, they don't want to read the story. Nah, story is a little more than this, because they don't want to write what they consider a masterpiece and be heard when no one reads it. Jesus Christ. Because they don't want to reason about what they consider a masterpiece and be heard when they realize it was all useless. Useless? By this argument, it really isn't strange to say it's like love between shy elementary or middle school age kids. Even though they really do want it, they don't have the courage to reveal their feelings, so you wait uncomfortably for the other person to confess, and by the time summer ends, nothing's happened. More than that, sometimes the girl even ends up going up with an entirely different guy. That's why my first love was like, hee. Along with those one-sided feelings they can't express, they lament the passage of a summer that will never come again, and the days of the youth end. The writers who couldn't write until he gained the support of readers goes for all eternity without releasing his maiden work. The readers who waited for the writer's rise to fame goes their whole life without knowing the joy of mystery genre. Butler-kun, when does the chicken of the egg type of shy love reach the level? Oh my god. Can they stop? Reach the level where can it progress into mutual love? Well, that's probably when things start to pile up. It starts the relationship between friends, they communicate with each other more and more, and when the two both reach the level where they're sure that's I like the person and they surely like me, well, then they're probably just naturally become a pair of lovers. My impression up until now was that relationships starting with a sudden confession of love tend to break up more often, whereas pairs who never actually confess to each other but realize that they're always been together, usually stay together for a surprisingly long time. It's actually weird. When I first find out about the notion that people in anime people in anime just confess to each other while looking at each other from, like, you know, side and not actually interacting with each other, I was like, huh, that's kind of strange. It's not something that commonly happen from where in a place where I'm from, that's for sure. In other words, this happened once the two of them believe in each other and relationship of trust is born. Is that what you're saying? Maybe. It's a bit odd. I've always thought the mystery genre was a battle between a writer and a reader, but maybe it's not quite right. What do you mean? A book isn't ever a battle. It's a dialogue. It's a shared experience. Yes, it's something you cannot go on without relationship, but a mutual trust, a relationship with love. So you're saying a relationship isn't one of killing each other, but one of his love? No, virtually I just got in the middle of them. No, it doesn't look like anything more than a pair of elementary scholars bullying each other to me. Virgilia joked at us in a middle-aged woman sort of way. Still, though I'm not expecting friendship or a trusting relationship, I can accept her as a rival. Beata's fighting at a full force, trying to make me acknowledge that she's a witch. So I respond to that and go all out, trying to deny that witches exist. How can you be sure that Miss Beata is fighting with a full force? Can you tell just by looking? It isn't as though you have proclaimed and read that she's fighting for you at full force. It's a trust, you know, relationship need to have trust. And yet you still have no doubts? You are the one who said you wouldn't believe anything except the red truth. Surely this is that stage Butlercoon mentioned earlier, where communication increases and you learn not to doubt your relationship. Regina and Lenore giggle together. One guy, multiple women. And the topic of love. Wait a sec, isn't that the worst possible formation for getting made fun of? When they trying to bring back a proper mood for a tea party in a rainy golden land by clumsily searching for more noble subjects, which just saw right through me and laughed. Even amidst this, Beata kept looking downwards with those great eyes, staring into her black tea. Oh, I want to eat. Yeah, that's right. Virgil and Lenore have given me so many hints, and yet I barely thought about it at all. Yeah, but not me. They give it to you, Butler, but not me. By now, it's all too late. Let me think. Now that everything is too late already and I've got an endless amount of time in my hands, let me think. One more time, let me think about the red truth Virgilia gave me, and the crutch of a decalogue that Lenore lent me. With the red truth, Virgilia guaranteed that at the very least, Beata left enough room in his tale for me to achieve victory. That red truth guarantee will once again give me the power to start my heart beating. And there's a crutch in the decalogue which Lenore lent me. Lenore itself warned me in the beginning that the decalogue isn't so almighty that it can solve all riddles. However, she said something about how it could be used as a method to solve. No, to take on riddles. Let me try it. Though there is no guarantee that this tale is mystery and fantasy, let me believe that I'll definitely be able to solve it. That it's solvable tale, a mystery, and let me take it one last time. When it came to, I was suddenly in that strange tea room where I've often argued furiously with Beata from across the table. Of course, Beata was nowhere to be found. It was just me, isolated and alone. That's okay. Even so, I won't stop thinking. Okay then, what were Nox's commandments again? I'm sure Lenore explained most of them when slamming me with them. Of course, even if I recall them vaguely. What's the first one again? Allow me to speak. Nox first. It's forbidden for the culprit to be anyone not mentioned in the early part of a story. When I muttered about what the first one was, as if answering my question, Lenore's subordinate appeared. Without bothering with unnecessary hello, she told me nothing more or less than what I wanted to know. Yeah, that's it. The first. The culprit has to be the one of people mentioned in the early part of a story. In other words, the culprit must have already appeared. As early as the first game? True, that's the most basic of basics in the mystery genre. A classic assumption. A classic assumption? Have I really been keeping to this assumption? With each new game, the number of people on this tale keep increasing. Well, was it really people? That violates a cross-circle rule. By this point, everything gets screwed up. Did I give up on the inside, thinking that the true culprit or mastermind might not have shown up yet, and that reasoning was therefore useless? Useless? If I read the tale as a fantasy, new characters keep showing up, to the point where even having demon kings or gods or creators appear wouldn't be strange at all. Even if the true mastermind first appears in one of the last episodes. I have to accept it. However, if I read it as a mystery and stuck with this conviction, then there is no need to worry at all about anyone who shows up later, because Nox first clearly stated that it's impossible to the culprit to be anyone who appears later on in the story. Of course, there is also that both Lenore and Virgilia said, there is no guarantee that this tale followed the rules of the Decalogue. So, of course I can't deny the possibility that the culprit first appeared in the second game or later. However, this is one way of thinking. This time, I'll forget about the devil's proof completely and try to borrow the power of a decalogue in my thinking. After all, I've already said myself that I won't be able to reach the truth without a multi-angled outlook. In this case, that means the culprit in all of these repeating games is one of the 18. From the very beginning, there was no need for an illusion of an 18th person. Even the first of Nox's commandments denies the existence of a known person known the witch from the very start. If I had to follow that in the truest sense, I might not have suffered so miserably in the second game. And Nox second? Allow me to speak. Nox second. It's forbidden for supernatural agencies to be employed as detective techniques. Lenore, other subordinate, appeared without a sound and gave me an answer to my question. That's right. A detective can't go around using magic. So, if this is a fair battle, does it mean that, like a detective, the culprit also isn't allowed to use magic? Allow me to speak. Know that you are free to interpret it as you please. Yeah, that's right. Sure, I'll interpret it my way. If this game is a battle between me and Beata, and because this tale is solvable, no elements will appear that make it impossible to solve. In other words, things like magic mustn't appear. When they do appear, I shouldn't suspect that the mystery element is breaking down, but I should instead question why it was shown, and suspect the witnesses and observers. That's right, this was Beata's greatest weapon in the second game. Depiction of magic that couldn't exist in a mystery. By showing me that, she forced me to think that this tale wasn't a mystery, and therefore that reasoning was impossible. So, I surrender. However, if I had believed unshakably that it was a mystery, it wouldn't be completely obvious to doubt the witnesses who claimed to have seen magic. Also, at the end of the first game, it was revealed that this tale was passed on to people in the future by this message battle. Someone had written about this crime, this tale. In other words, this entire tale is a war that includes a personal opinion of an observer, namely a person who wrote this message in the battle. I'm really tired. finished, so I wouldn't need to skip to here in other version of a game. But you know what? I'm tired as fuck. I don't know why I'm so tired. Probably because I was sleeping on the fucking floor. And I need to do dishes and, you know. I don't know when I'm streaming next time. Probably next week. Totally not on weekends. Any matter. See you next time. Thank you for watching if you watch. Bye bye!